Hello and welcome to Build Up to a Good Game. We are now in 3 minutes away from kick-off at the G-Tech Community Stadium. This is Brentford against West Ham United. Gonzo, how is oneself? Don't do that to me. That is not funny.
It is funny. It is funny. It's good. I'm sorry. Because I've only been planning it for 24 hours. That's a long, drawn-out gag. I'm feeling very cramped. I've lost a bit of space. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Anyway, thank you to everybody for joining us. As you can see, we've got some new technology here today, so there may be some teething problems, so bear with us. Gonzo, if you have a look at your screen, the live chat is going in the new software, so that's working. We're rocking and rolling. So thank you to everybody for joining us. The West Ham team's out. We'll give it to you in just a second. As you can see, we've invested in Hammer's chat, and so today it's a new thing for us. Hopefully you all like it. We've got the stats on the screen there. It's not kicked off yet. That will be updating itself, but thank you for joining us. We've got the West Ham team at the minute, and let me just check and see if it's available for us, Gonzo, and then we can, if not, I shall read it out. We'll go old school. It's not quite ready yet, so we'll keep the stats on there and hide it. So, the West Ham team is as follows. In goal is Alphonse Areola with a back four of Adawan Bazaka. We've got Jean-Claire Todibo, Max Kilman and Emerson. In midfield, we've got Rodriguez, Souček and Paqueta. We have got Kudus on the left, Bourne on the right, and Mikel Antonio up front.
Yeah, that's quite different to what I expected. It has to be said, Gio. I found myself getting a little bit excited earlier on because I had actually heard that he'd retained Somerville. I heard Stebo was back in. I thought he was starting Füllkrug. We can only assume that Füllkrug is injured because he's a little spoiler alert. He's not on the bench at all. And actually, it seemed like he was going to play Paqueta and he was going to play Soler. And I thought, oh, he's going for it here, which would seem, it's not like it's Lopetegui. I don't want to particularly, say that, but it would seem like not how he would perhaps do things away from home. It seemed like such an attacking lineup, and I thought, oh wow, he's really going for it. It's a very, very different team to the one I heard. So, yeah, it's I'm a little bit concerned about the midfield, but he's really stuck, really, which is quite a shame. Bearing in mind, I've had a really good transfer window, and we still look to be a little short in midfield, actually. So, I'm a bit concerned about the midfield, but pleased that Todibo's in. Feel a bit sorry for Somerville, has been really good. Whilst West Ham have been overall pretty crap in the last two games. Somerville himself, I think, played well against Chelsea, played well against Liverpool, and definitely deserves to be in there. So I would hope pressure's on Kudus today to provide something. Although I would always offer up the excuse for him that this is not his position. So it's going to be interesting today.
No, I agree. It's Somerville's position. Where is he? Why? I don't want to keep on being grumpy. I feel like I'm being grumpy almost every build-up show at the minute, and I don't like doing it, believe it or not. But when the team come out, listen, let's start with some positives then. Happy with the defence. Wan-Bissaka, Todibo, Kilman, Emerson. I'm happy with that. Happy days. In midfield, Souček, Paqueta, Rodriguez. It is what it is. It was always going to be a struggle to come up with something in there because they're all out of form at the minute. Irving's unproven. Solar's not looked great. Alvarez is suspended. So the midfield is almost like by default to some extent. Sure. But now, Antonio, I will say, Antonio looked good against Liverpool. I thought when he came off the bench, I thought he looked good. So he's sort of got his shirt back on merit. But where's Somerville? Against Chelsea, there was one player that played half decent. Somerville. Against Liverpool, there was two players that played well, in my opinion. Somerville and Bowen. Where have they gone? You've just taken away the one guy that actually deserves to be starting today. Now, is Kudus the better footballer? Absolutely. Yeah. But Somerville's been better than him out on that side. I think it's really harsh on Somerville, actually. I'm a bit grumpy in that regards.
Yeah, it is a bit of a shame. You just hope that he doesn't get demotivated because, as I say, the lineup that I had heard was very different to this. Had Somerville starting and Kudus was dropped in what I heard. I was thinking to myself, well, I wonder how he will handle it. I mean, it's a big name to drop though, isn't he? And as you say, it's very hard to argue that the worst player has been dropped here. I don't think it's about that. I think it's about almost impossible to drop the big name. in Kudus. As I say, but I would make excuses for him, which I don't think he's been given a real chance to play in his best role this season, or either of them. I would. My choice for Kudus would be right wing. If not, I'd play in centre attacking midfield. If not, I'd play him as a sort of like withdrawn centre forward. It would be fourth choice for me, left wing. It really would. So I don't think he's been given a chance to shine, and so it's not really his fault. But yeah, I hope Somerville takes it well. And I was going to say I hope Somerville comes on and scores a sub. My main hope is that West Ham win this game, and actually I'd love Kudus to start scoring from that left hand side. I really would. But it's a strange set team, but some of it out of necessity, as you alluded to earlier.
The bench for West Ham is as follows. Lukas Fabianski's on the bench, as well as Adam Creswell. Carlos Soler is on the bench alongside Vladimir Soufal. Somerville is on the bench, so he is available for selection. Mavropanos drops to the bench, and Guilherme comes on to the bench, and Danny Ings is on there alongside Andy Irving. So it's pretty much everybody that's available. No Fulkrug, and Edson Alvarez suspended.
Yeah, but it was the initial when Fulkrug got the injury. It was in training on international duty. He scored against Hungary, I think, didn't he? Scored in a sort of rout against Hungary, and he was fine with that game. And then he got injured in training. And initially, the report was saying, "Well, this is it's not that bad. It could be just tendonitis." And you're looking at 3 to 4 weeks. And then we had, which is actually not too bad. You think an injury, you'd take 3 to 4 weeks in most cases, and then I think the reports started coming out saying, actually, it's a lot more than that. It may well be. He might even be back for the first game. It looks like the diagnosis is much closer to what we first heard. So I don't think there should be any big surprise that he's not available, because it is just fitting in with what was reported when he got the injury in the first place. I just think that maybe there's been a little bit too much positive news that just wasn't medically accurate, basically.
Yeah, the Brentford team is as follows. In goal, they've got Flecken, and they're playing their back four with Vandenberg at right back, Collins and Pinnock at centre back, and Ayer at left back. Janelt is in midfield alongside Damsgaard and Carvalho. So quite an attacking midfield from Thomas Frank today. And then up front, they've got, work it out yourself, Keane Lewis Potter will be on the left, and either Mbuemo or Shadow will be through the middle, with the other one out on the right hand side. So that's your Brentford side today, Gonzo.
Yeah, good. Look, good team. I fancy us, Gio. I've got to say, I fancy us today. I really do. I'm feeling very. I'm feeling positive. Maybe it's my agitation. Maybe I'm annoyed, and it's making. I really. Obviously, look, West Ham fan and the rest of it, very much, Team Lopetegui today, actually. Really want him to get this win. The more I look at it, I've been, a little bit annoyed with, as I mentioned earlier, Lopetegui's been getting it big time from the mainstream media. And the biggest sin that Lopetegui has done is, actually, if you look at the screen now with our new fancy graphics, when it scrolls down on the bottom of the screen, you'll see the bottom of the league. There's a lot of teams still below West Ham.
Yeah, I can see us in 14th. Yeah.
None of the teams that are down near the bottom, like the bottom 4 teams, their managers, maybe with the exception of Dyche, have been getting that much stick. And to be fair, Dyche has only been getting that much because of the, because of who's possibly going to take over and take his place. Lopetegui's biggest sin is that he's not David Moyes, and the mainstream media are really, hammering him really hard. All right, he's not had a great start. He really hasn't. But I think it's got a little bit silly, actually, and I'm really willing him to do well, because I think he's taken, unnecessary criticism. That being said, he has been poor, and I don't think he's got lots and lots of losses in him, but I'm really hoping that he can turn this around and get a win today. I really do. But I think I can't quite decide whether he's played it safe or been brave in his formation, his team selection. There's nothing to suggest that either Kudus or, for instance, Rodriguez is going to work for him today. So he's selected them, and that's either he's playing it safe or he has absolute belief that they'll come through. And I really hope they do. I really do.
I think he's trying to play it safe. I think that's his intention. I think, ironically, he's taking a risk. The midfield is a risk no matter the combination. He could have gone Soler, Irving, and Paqueta, which, that's a bit risky. It could have been Irving, Souček, and Rodriguez. That's a bit defensive, bit risky. No matter the makeup of that trio, it was always a gamble in there. I actually think the risk he's taken is not starting Somerville. it's not necessarily if we go on and not win this game. He might be able. Well, it's not then. What I'm trying to say is, it's not starting Somerville won't cost us the game, but it might hinder us in attack. That's where I think he's taking a little bit of risk. There's already pressure from some fans. I think he's just almost like, just put a bullet in the gun. So there you are. If we don't win today, fire that at me because I've done something in the lineup that you're not happy about. The bench for Brentford, I'm going to try and fly through this, but there's one or two names on there that I don't know how to pronounce this one. Vladimarson is on the bench as well as me. That's Ben me, not myself. Yarmolik is on the bench as well as Meghoma. Konak is on there with Trevitt, Roroslav, Jisoo and Yog Ane. Can't say I'm too familiar with many of Brentford's bench this afternoon. Now, what we're going to do is going to compile a little bet in just a second, but before we do, there was a really good comment and I've lost it. Well, first of all, Baz reckons you're on the happy pills. And
did I sound happy? Do I?
I think you're surprisingly optimistic. I think.
I'm sick of being miserable. I think that's the thing. Yeah, the thing is, I'm not. It's the opposite of that. I'm not happy. I'm just sick of being miserable. And I really want him to do well. I just think it's a bad look. I've just seen him get a kick in from everyone, be it ex-West Ham players, the mainstream media. I even suspect his own director of football's thrown him under a bus. I'm just sick of seeing it. I just think it's a bad look. I want him to do well. I really do. Yeah, so it's not that. It's more hope than anything. And I just want to see a real fighting spirit from the players and come and, for themselves as well. He took a lot of flack. A lot of those players were crap as well and have been crap recently. So, yeah, I want to see something from them. Yeah, but I wouldn't say I'm particularly happy about it, no.
What do you make of Jamie's comment here? He said, would love to see Lopetegui plays Unokar and play Kudus in the 10 and Paqueta out on the left.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I would like to see that, Jamie, but I'm not sure that it is his Uno card particularly. I think there's even other things he could do. When I first saw the lineup, I obviously there's no way full crew could have played, and the lineup was incorrect. But it looked like I would like to have seen him play Soler and Paqueta in this game actually, and just have one other guy in there, be it Souček or Rodriguez, to really go for it. I think would have been huge. I wanted to see him do that. But I understand it's probably not within his nature. The one thing that I do want him to do, so while this is on the top of my mind, I know it's not have anything to do with what Jamie said, is I felt we were a lot more orthodox against Liverpool, and I know it didn't work, and I know we were crap, but there were points in the game where it did look okay. I don't want anything creative with that back line. I want two centre-backs to play in centre-back positions. I want the right-back to be at right-back. Do you know what I mean? I want there to be an orthodoxy about this lineup, and that's really what I'm hoping to see. And I think if we can have more of a rigid sort of traditional formation, if we want to call it that, I think we've got half a chance.
Thank you to Fortunes Down Under TV. It's a YouTube channel for West Ham fans, so go subscribe to them as well. They're saying thank you for the $15 super chat. He says, loving the new tech for the show. Love it, lads. With this game, I feel nervous and ready for the breakdown in the YouTube fan base. Please, Lopetegui, get it right today. So, massive thank you for that super chat. It helps out the channel, helps us.
Thank you.
Helps us pay for the tech. But listen, we're glad to have it. We're excited for it. Very nervous as well. Everything's changing. How compared to previous watch-alongs, everything's completely different. Seems to be going all right so far, which is good. And we've got another little thing to show you. Have a look at this. We have got a scoreboard. Look at that. It's above my head, not yours. Gonzo can't see what you see at home, basically. All Gonzo can see is me. He can't see any of the graphics going on or nothing like that. So I've got free reign here. But we've got this scoreboard, and the timer will activate when the kickoff is. It's all live data as well, so this will be ahead of this. So when Mark and Nick are talking, they're going to be a little bit behind what that is saying. However, we've made a bit of an investment, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to do a little bet, Gonzo, and if this wins, we're going to give it to someone. What are you fancying?
Well, actually, let's Antonio goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. It's time. Be at the risk of being accused of being on the happy pills. Yeah, Yeah, yeah. I thought he looked closer to the old Antonio. He was far more in beast mode than least mode against Liverpool, and I think he's pivotal. I think he's crucial, and I really do. I really fancy him? No, but I don't really fancy anyone. But I think today might be Antonio's day.
Right, we'll put that in. Anything else you're fancying for the?
Oh, we can't. Unfortunately, we can't do an Alvarez card, can we?
No, the banker's gone.
I mean, Wissa's a big loss for them, Gio. I do believe that to be the case.
Who do you fancy to get a book in then? Is there anyone in particular you fancy for the card for either team?
Paqueta as the obvious one, I think.
That'll do. That's £100. I've added two things in. I'll explain in a second. So if this bet wins, one of you will win £100 cash at home. The bet is as follows: it's Mikel Antonio to score a goal, it's Lucas Paqueta get a card, and Jai Bowen and Bryan Mbuemo both to have a shot on target. If that bet wins, we will give you one of our subscribers £100 cash. To enter in the live chat, please put the following phrase:
Fleck in hell.
There you go, Fleckenell. Get that into the live chat, and while you do that, we'll have a look. We are going to have the teams, by the way. The teams will be on the screen at some point closer to kick-off, but that's at the minute it's all live data, so we can't alter this, but it will be here with us very, very shortly. We will get that for you. But get that into the live chat, Fleckenell. Let me find someone that's clicked on it. There you go. Thank you very much, Quiz.
Excellent, nice and quick.
Yeah, get into the live chat. Anyway. I get what you're saying, Gonzo. It's not like I don't get it. You know, you're on the happy pills. I'm one defeat away from getting antidepressants out the door, I think, to be honest with you. But
I think they are happy pills. I think that was what the happy pills are.
Well, whatever the extreme ones are, I'm getting those ones.
The other one, yeah, the downers, yeah.
I think the thing is, it's one player away from me liking the starting 11. If Somerville was in there, and I don't know, there's various options here. If Paqueta was on the bench, or if Antonio was on the bench, or if Souček or Rodriguez was on the bench instead of Somerville, it's not like it was one direct swap. It's any of the five come out and Somerville goes in there. I'd be quite optimistic for this game, actually. That Brentford midfield of Janelt, Damsgaard and Carvalho, Brentford have gone from being a potentially physical, bullying central midfield to actually quite a technical side who they're not as physically imposing as they could have been. Janelt's big in there, don't get me wrong, and the other two will work hard, but then we've now suddenly got the more physical midfield out of the three. We've also got the slowest midfield out of the two teams as well, which is a bit of a concern. But I don't know, I'm not as negative as I thought I'd be coming into today's game. During the week when we did the preview on the Thursday, I still fear for the worst because of our recent performances and whatnot. However, I'm just hoping that we need 2 or 3 players to really step up today. One player doing it's not enough. We've had some okay performances from certain players. Now we need some really good performances for 2 or 3. And when I say 2 or 3, I don't just mean like the whole team. I mean key players. Bowen and Kudus, Bowen and Antonio, Paqueta and Kudus. Whatever. Out of those 4 attackers, we need 2 of them to turn up and put in 8 out of 10 performances. And we've got a bit of a chance. Because at the minute, our chance creation's been shocking. We're getting plenty shots away. They're just of low quality. We're conceding lots of shots as well. It's a bad combination. When you can't defend and you can't attack, you're in trouble. We need to see big improvements today. We're up against a really organised Brentford side, but they're playing centre backs at full back. I want whichever side Ayer's on. I'd imagine he's on the left side. I want Bowen running at him constantly. He can be clumsy, Ayer. He's a big player, he's physical, he's strong, really good in the air, but I just think he can be a little bit clumsy and I think we can attack him, and I hope we do attack Ayer today. We might get a little bit of hope if we do. Right then, we're going to get your comments in just a second. Monk says, great West Ham content, the only people they can relate to from Singapore. So by the way, Gonzo, you don't have to love Lopetegui like your name is Ben Affleck.
I don't get that.
I don't get it either. Are we missing something?
No, I don't. I don't know.
It's Ben Affleck in Madagascar because there's There's a little creature in Madagascar called King Julian, isn't there? So I don't know if maybe Ben Affleck's the voice for...
I don't know what's got to do with Lopetegui. But yeah. Sorry. Monk Moose. I do not know what you're alluding to.
Right, get your comments into live chat about the West Ham team, about the Brentford team. Any big hopes or worries that you have going into today's game? Westwood Hammer says we don't want to see a Roman Thomas Souček. Scott says Kudus bursts in through the whole team and there's no one in the box. Jamie said Rodriguez in front of the back four, Kudus and Paqueta in front of him, and then Somerville, Antonio and Bowen was his hope. Some ball carry in the middle, but no. Lewis is saying, where on earth is Crescencio Somerville?
Yeah, it's Jennifer Lopez.
Well,
they were married, weren't they? Yeah, I thought, so I'm trying to think of from an animation. Yes. So yes, Ben Affleck loves J-Lo. Yes, I guess that's It was.
Mancunian says you can't defend the dropping of Somerville. The manager is going to scrape enough results to stay in the job all season. A year of misery with this guy in the dugout. Vu says, I understand Antonio starting can bully their defence and make them tired, then Somerville on to stretch their defence and get in behind. See, the thing is, it's like on on Wednesday, we've seen the benefits of Antonio coming on against a tired defence. So if it doesn't work from the start, I think there's going to be an element of, well, yeah, because he came on against a tired defence. Maybe that's part of the reason. He looked good against Liverpool, don't get me wrong, he looked sharp.
Yeah. But
he's looked dreadful in every game up until a 20-minute appearance at Anfield. We need a good performance from him today, Gonzo. I think I feel like he's running out of chances. I thought Souček was, but they're both in the starting 11 today.
Yeah, I mean, I have a worry with Lopetegui that we're already starting to see favouritism with him, and I think it was one of the downsides of David Moyes, that irrespective of form, certainly some players got selected, and I don't. You have to reward players that play well, and particularly if the player in their position plays poorly, the shirt always has to be up for grabs, always. And that was, as I say, it really fell down with David Moyes, and I would hope Lopetegui is not going to do that. The Somerville one is bad. There's no doubt about it. The Antonio one's slightly different because Füllkrug is injured. I do think Antonio's probably, when it all said and done, Antonio's meant to be our second choice striker. If Füllkrug's out, Antonio starts. And Antonio did finish well. Not finished the game. I mean, he finished the game strongly against Liverpool. That I get. It's hard. It's hard with the Somerville one. It really is. But I also do think if West Ham, as like I said this in the build up. What I said in the build up show was, no, every result is available here. Nothing would surprise me. Brentford win, no surprise. Draw, no surprise. West Ham win, it wouldn't surprise me. It would all seem, that's what I said in the preview, it would all seem obvious at the end. I didn't feel that going into Liverpool game. I thought there was only one result that was going to happen. But I think if West Ham are going to win, I think we'll be looking at his starting lineup to keep things tight, and he'll be trying to win the game off the substitutes bench. So yeah, in what you say, no Antonio there to do that, but I do feel Somerville coming on we would hopefully be part of that to make a difference. So yeah, I do think he's going to try and keep it tight though. We're going to see the same tactics. We're going to see a very, very tight game.
Anyway, you've got the West Ham team on your screen now. Look at that! Look at that sexy piece of graphic we got there. So you can see Ariola in goal, Emerson, Kilman, Tadibo, Wan-Bissaka at the back, Rodriguez and Souček in midfield with Paqueta, Kudus on left, Bowen on the right, and Mikel Antonio up front. We'll get the Brentford one up in a second. But before we do, this tickled me. Lee said he's David Moyes with a spray tan. I like that one. Dylan said if we're going to take a big risk and get a new manager, it'd be nice if we tried a different lineup to the old manager. Johnny said Kudus has legs when Antonio goes off and Somerville comes on. Keep Bowen out on the right, and we win. I agree with that.
Yeah,
keeping Bowen out there. Danny said relying on a 34-year-old winger who's never been prolific at this point is just wrong. All the money we spent should have got Duran or a pacey forward who has age on the side. Thing is, Antonio has been prolific. I can't remember what year it was. It might have been 2022, and I appreciate we're going back here. I'm not trying to defend Antonio being prolific now, but say he's never been, I think it's harsh. Was it 2022, 2021? He scored like 34 goals in a calendar year, which is just ridiculous. Westwood says Antonio's perfect role is super sub. That's why he looked good at Anfield at the week during the week. Paddy said Paqueta is really the one who should have been dropped for Somerville. Who knows where his head is going to be? Follow the recent revelations regarding the payments. Gaz says Lopetegui's just been on Sky Sports saying it's going to be hard because Brentford have had a rest midweek. Oh my word. Someone made a good point as well. If I can just try and find it very quickly. Apologies, but someone said, and here we go, El Chico, thank you. El Chico said, he literally said after the Liverpool game, Salah and Somerville played well, and he's dropped both of them.
He did. He said, and Tadebo, he said all three of them. That's right, we discussed it this
morning. He starts
though,
didn't he?
Yeah, but no, I'm just saying we discussed it this morning in the breakfast show.
Yeah. The Duran thing, I have to say, was funny the other day, because did you notice Fabrizio Romano, just to go off topic a second, Fabrizio Romano came out and said, West Ham offered 43 million plus add-ons for Duran, but it was rejected. The narrative's changed again. It's almost like this is why Tim Steidten couldn't get Duran. It's because they did actually offer the 43 million, but Villa rejected it. It just feels like the whole...
I don't actually believe that, by the way.
Either do I. I don't believe it either. I believe he's been told it. I just don't believe that we did bid 43 million, and because that would mean every West Ham in the know and every Aston Villa in the know were wrong. Yeah.
I enjoyed Fabrizio Romano's stuff, I've got to say, in the window, but I've not enjoyed it so much this week, actually. It's just... It just feeds into the toxicity at West Ham at the moment, and everyone, anyway.
Thank you, Ross, for £2 super chat. Who says you need BetterHelp as a sponsor when you're supporting West Ham. And speaking of sponsors, just want to say thank you to Match Bingo. A couple of people are enjoying the graphics. It wouldn't be possible without Match Bingo. We basically, without getting into it too much, it's kind of obvious what we've done. We've taken a Match Bingo sponsorship and put it back into the channel, invested in what you've got in front of you today. We've tried to improve what we do here in Hammers Chat. So a massive thank you to Match Bingo. Match Bingo is combining the traditional game with football, and in particular this fixture has all Premier League fixtures on there, but for this one in particular they've got a 3 for 2 promotion, just £2 per card. You'll get 15 things that you need to happen in the game. You need 6 things for Brentford, 6 things for West Ham, and 3 things in the match for either team. Pays out first line £25, second line £50, and the first person to get the full house will win £100 cash, plus there's a bonus pot of £100 for anybody else that gets the full house. So if you fancy getting involved with Match Bingo, please do download the app using the link in the description. It's important you use that link so they know you come from Hammers Chat. And thank you to everybody that has got involved with Match Bingo, because it's meant we've been able to do this, and I like it. John said his lineup: Areola, Wan-Bissaka, Tadibo, Kilman, Emerson, Rodriguez, Solar, Somerville, with Kudus in a central position, Bourne on the right, and somebody up front, a mystery player up front. He pushed send a little bit too soon there. Fortunes Down Under said Ings scored, then doesn't get minutes the following game. What is it with players not being able to build on confidence?
Yeah, mate. I wouldn't be starting Ings. I've got to be honest with you. I wouldn't be starting Ings. What I did think was weird how Ings didn't come on when he was bringing everyone on against Chelsea. He didn't bring Ings on. I wouldn't be starting Ings though. I wouldn't. I think we made a big error. Look, it's really hard because I haven't seen Fulkrug play yet. All right, and I am very open to Fulkrug being a really, really good player. But yeah, I'm far from convinced with any of our choices up front. It has to be said. I don't think we've got a lot to choose from, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, I think because he didn't come on against Chelsea, that was where it grated on me a little bit, because did we have to leave him out completely, especially at 3-0 down? You might as well have put him on. At Liverpool, he worked hard. He was just completely out of the game, and then when we did get into the game, he was taken off. Was he out of the game because he was no longer on the pitch? To some extent, because Antonio come on and done well, but I do think Antonio benefited from coming off the bench rather than that. Our bench today, though, we've not got loads of options on there. There's obviously a lot of players on there, but when you look at it, Somerville's the one. But if you need a goal, Ings is the only striker on there. You've got Irving on there, who may come good, may not. We don't really know. So I do think if we need a goal today, I think Ings will get on. But again, it's more just through lack of options for West Ham, really, than anything else. Fortune's down under saying he wouldn't start Danny Ings, but no minutes after scoring the previous game.
That's I mean that's what happened with Cornet, wasn't it? As well, let's not forget that. Got an assist, got a goal, and then didn't get played. So yeah, it's that what G Walsh 94 is saying there. I suspect that, and I would have played him. We did our formations and our weren't predicted lineups that we do in the preview, but the lineups that we would pick, and. Yeah, I mean, none of us had this, did we? Let's be perfectly honest here. But yeah, I would like to see Fulkrug, wouldn't we all? We all would like to see him. But I'm uncertain that he's going to work out. But I would love to be proved wrong on that. I'd love to.
Tony says no Somerville. Lopetegui best hope they win. Otherwise, this team selection will come back to bite him in the arse. And I have to agree with every word of that. Lewis says it feels like we're asking most of the same questions as last season. Strange lineups, absent midfield, players not getting followed up on chances when they were playing well, and it's incredibly frustrating. New York, I assume it's New York, says this is bad. Mancuni saying watching Newcastle play like that against Man City, I'm jealous. I honestly believe with the players we have, we're good enough to compete and entertain in a similar manner. Isak was injured as usual. Alan was at the game. He was at Anfield on Wednesday. Said we gave them problems, and I think we should have started with the same team with an Alvarez replacement. Michael Levy Jr. says, so we've established we're weak at the back, still conceding goals, and was looking at free transfers. Weak in midfield and weak up front. Yeah, it was a fantastic transfer window with a big question mark at the end of that one. Tom said, just seen the team. Jesus Christ. This guy is some dope. Better players on the bench to make a far better team. Infinitely is asking if I got 10 out of 11 correct this week on my opposition prediction. No, I got 9. I didn't think he'd start Cavallo and Damsgaard, but in my defence, Norgaard's unavailable, and I didn't think he'd go with Van den Berg and Ayer. I thought Roslav might have come in, so I got 2 wrong. Here's the 24,000. Right, it's going to be the subscribers, right? It's been the people we're working with have been fantastic in getting this up and ready for us. They were hurrying around. We've even been working on it this morning to make sure that everything's hunky-dory. So the people that were helping us out with this have been brilliant. So there is going to be 1 or 2 things that just need fine-tuned, and that's one of them. But we did say to them, we're not that arsed about it for today. It doesn't change. As long as that works and that over there works and that works, we're happy with having 24,000 today. It's not something we're going to...
Well, thank you for noticing.
Yeah.
we knew someone would. We did say that earlier, didn't we?
Scott says if Lopetegui goes, we start all over again. We're in the bottom 3. Clayton said it brings back memories of our last manager dropping our best performer of late. Lewis is saying, how hard is it to find a striker that's a younger version of Antonio if that's the way we want to play? Fulkrug just not the same type of... I mean, that's bang on. That is very accurate. What is the style, and how do you establish the style if, let's just say, Fulkrug was important to how Lopetegui's going to play? Then you're always going to be one signing or one injury or one suspension away from it all falling down. And I think Alvarez being suspended has shown that actually maybe Rodriguez, when we signed Rodriguez, is it to replace Alvarez or is it to play alongside? And it was like, well, both. However, I think maybe the more we see, it's a case of it will be Alvarez with Rodriguez as backup. But that's what's happened today. Alvarez is suspended, Rodriguez is in there, and we continue as we were. But I agree with what they've just said there, which is, well, if Fulkrug is going to be the guy that we use, if he's injured, we've got to change the complete style because we don't have a replacement. And if Antonio's the way we want to play and he's unavailable, we've got to change the complete style again because we don't have it just feels a little bit madness, personally. But
yeah, I think the transfer strategy is a lot more disjointed than we originally thought. it seems like everyone's got their little pick here or there. Look, I mean, this is the thing. The longer this goes on, the worse it gets. There's very, very little. This is why I said I've had enough. Very, very little to be positive about at West Ham at the moment. There's no way we should be in this position. As I was saying this morning, Gio, this whole thing about get rid of Lopetegui and someone else comes in, like, Tony Cottee said, we need a young progressive manager. A young progressive manager would shrink and rot away in the current setup at the club. It's not conducive to anybody doing well. I'm quite certain of that. And that, if what we've seen is true, that whatever people at the top of the club and the director of football and whatnot are sticking a boot into the current manager, what happened to the last manager was to say it won't happen to the next one. So the best thing that could happen for West Ham today is for us to get the win and for some of these signings that we've made to actually look good. Now, obviously, Fulkrug can't do that today because he's not there, but we need something. We need some promise because it's looking pretty bloody depressing at the moment.
We've got a question here from Jordan. Before we click on that and discuss it in just a second, please do drop a like on the video. Nearly 1,000 of you watching live. Thank you very much. Massively appreciate it. And we always get a little bit humbled when people come on. It's like, wow. So please do drop a like on it by clicking thumbs up. It helps us out. And Jordan Gonzo is saying, do you think Souček will be like the graphic, or do you think him and Paqueta will be swapped round?
Ooh, that is an interesting one. That is, isn't it? The truth of the matter is, I don't. Do you know what? Now you mention it, Jordan, I think possibly we might see Souček further up there now. Now you said that.
Yeah, I think it will be. I think it'll be Souček in the number 10 and Paqueta in next to Rodriguez.
Yeah. It's not a great passing team, though. I mean, this is half the problem. I was really hoping to see Soler and Paqueta in this team today because I know it wasn't there for long. I know it wasn't brilliant, but I did think there was a little moment against Liverpool where you thought, oh, okay, well, this is something. This is what you get with an extra technical player in there, which I think is important.
But Dave says we've lost to teams this season who are better and will finish above us in the league. Brentford and Ipswich won't. 2 wins coming up. Clayton says back 3 against Chelsea and he's changed it again. How is Rodriguez still getting a start over Rodriguez?
I'm pleased he's changed it after Chelsea, by the way.
Mancini says finally someone emerges to look good on the left and we drop him. Gaz says, do you think the manager sometimes drops someone who's played well to show they're the boss and you don't take the shirt for granted, like a power-hungry, crazed man? He thinks it's very odd dropping Somerville. Dave G saying he doesn't get the Souček hate. He always gives 100%, which is all you can ask for. It's down to Lopetegui if he picks him. Danny saying I'm stretching because I said that Antonio's prolific because he had one good season. I never said he's prolific. Someone, it may have been
in fact, you did actually say, I can't remember which season it was.
Yeah. Someone said he's never prolific. I said, well, that's harsh because he has been prolific for a calendar year, but it's a few seasons ago. Listen, I'm the one with hearing aids. I'm the one that's allowed to not hear people correctly, right? I've got a legit excuse. That one, someone's just messaged me saying if you're using OBS, it looks really good, but I haven't saved the number. Thank you for whoever's just messaged me saying that looks really good. Appreciate the kind words. Right then, let me just double check the room. Okay, we've got one of the Watchalong people in there. The other one's absent, but to be fair, I can work on that. Right, Gonzo, have you got the live chat on the lineup builder? Have you got the...
I've got a live chat on the lineup builder, yes, I do.
Could you start reading out some comments and interacting? Because I'm going to go and try and set up the watch-along phase of the stream.
I think I can do both of those things. So, what we have here... Oh, no, request... I'm sorry, I can't. It said request failed. Try again. No, it's not working, Gio. I do apologise.
Why is it not working? What have you done? Click it again.
I'm clicking on the comments and it's saying request failed. Please try again.
We'll refresh your browser, and then try clicking.
I will refresh my browser now.
And then try clicking, and then I'll wait until you can...
No, request failed, please try again.
Just start reading them out. Just read them out.
I will.
As it's going.
Okay, so what have we got here? I will just have to start reading them out. Well, Joan, hello, Joan. Hope you're well. She says left wing continues to be our Achilles heel. As Oxo says, Paqueta has been donkey all season, and Kudus has been impactful, but hasn't been on the score sheet or assists all so far. Well, I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? I think, particularly with Paqueta's, I think they've both got excuses, but if you're going to take Kudus and you're going to play him on the left, you're going to play him on there because he's left-footed. You know you're going to take his shooting away. You want crosses, we would hope he would have an assist by now. And maybe this is all part of the plan. Maybe Fulkrug is meant to be there, and Kudus is meant to be crossing the ball to him. But clearly it's not. Look, there's no big target man in there. And Kudus isn't really out of form. Isn't really in form. Brian says if you play Souček as a 10, when you have Kudus and Paqueta, maybe time to call it a day. I think Brian's suggesting that Lopetegui should call it a day there. Yeah, I mean, I think the one time it worked well, Brian, was in the Aston Villa game where I thought he won the penalty, didn't he, Souček? And I actually did think a lot of our better chances came from him. And I think, but it wasn't even as if he was a 10. He was more advanced than Antonio in that game. And I sort of don't mind that. But I think if you're going to play Souček up there, cross the ball to him lots. I think what we've done since then is we've put him in there and we've not really crossed the ball to him. So I think we just sort of nullify any particular qualities. He has Fred Traylan says it does not look like Loppe is learning from his mistakes so far. David Linton says he doesn't like the setup. He's trying not to swear. He says it looks ducking amazing. Peter Johnson said like watching Thunderbirds at work. Bazza, good point, Bazza. He said under 21s are doing very well. Free flowing. There you go. That's what I was just about to read. How did that pop up?
I clicked on it.
Oh, you did. All right, fair enough. Free-flowing attacking football and able to transition the ball from back to front through midfield at a pace. We don't see this for the first time. I thought that was really clever. I thought it's actually reading what I'm saying and it pops it up on the screen, but it turns out you did it, Gia.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing too fancy going on there. I just clicked on it while you were reading it out. I thought... David says his own goal play. We need a couple. Yeah, own goals are top goal scorer at the minute. 2 goals. Jared Bowen 2 goals, and top goal scorer 2 goals as well. Skizzo was saying what's going on with Lopetegui. He seems intent on winding the fans up. Maybe he's not that keen on Sullivan signing. Well, that's it, isn't it? Which came out this week that Sullivan's been taking the credit for one signing in particular, and he's benched.
Yeah, but of course, got 2 signings there, which we know. We absolutely know that Fulkrug and Guilherme are starting signings, and they're not getting a look in either. So maybe he's just playing his own. You've got Rodriguez in there and Kilman, and he's playing his own boys. Maybe Lopetegui looking after his own.
Well, it's not something new, is it? Brooke Debborn says I've cost some money at Newmarket. Oh, for God's sake! I didn't. There's basically a horse. The horse is called Geo, and he was running at Newmarket earlier. And now and again, there's always, whenever it runs, subscribers always tell me in the comments, "Oh, you're running at whatever." So I had a double on Geo in West Ham to win, so I've lost my money. I've lost my own horse race.
Oh,
fuming. Anyway, right then, if you just give me 1 second, Gonzo, I should be ready to try something adventurous here. So what we're going to try and do, ladies and gentlemen, is switch over to the Watchalong hosts. I'm waiting for Nick to settle down. Are you finished, Nick? Are you in your position now? You good? Just wave. Yep, he's good. Perfect. Right, we can we can get them in just a second. Right then, don't go anywhere, because Nick and Northie are here with you for the duration of the game, provide fan commentary with the new fancy graphics as well. We're away to take a little bit of risk and try something we've never tried before, because we haven't had a trial run at this part. Up until now, we tested it this morning, so we knew what we're doing. What's away to occur in the next few seconds, we haven't tested yet, so fingers crossed it goes okay. But if it all goes well, in the next second, I've just realised something I need to do. In the next second, you should be able to hear Nick and Mark. Let's try it, and if not, we'll switch it back. So go on, so don't go anywhere. Nick and Mark, it's over to you.
Hello, is anybody there?
Ditto. Can anyone hear me? Keep talking.
This is a smooth switch over that happens.
Yes.
Amazing new tools, huh?
Yeah, fantastic. There's a lot to figure out. As you can tell, oh yeah, now I see myself. Okay, yeah, sorry. The distraction is that I can also see Geo. It's basically like being the worst actor in the world, and you're on the stage, and then you have your coach like off stage, just treating you like you're a trained monkey.
I think you're seeing big fish, little fish behind the scenes there. It's like this.
Yeah, we need lines fed to us. There's just so many screens. I mean, I'd like to say I wasn't absolutely confused. This is like is versions. Am I either in the Matrix? Have I gone mad? I can see myself with like 1 second delay. I can see myself on a 30-second delay, and a 45-second delay on my phone. So I think the best thing is to do just don't think about it.
Absolutely right.
Is that going to help anyone?
Just like Lopo, just like Lopetegui picking this team, hasn't really thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the best thing for me to do is just not focus on the technology at the moment, because it's absolutely doing my head in. But what I would say is, why not put Antonio on the left and Kudus up top? Why not? Kudus can turn people and then run and score. And Antonio's been a winger before, so he can do the running part of this. That's my grand tactical switch. For the rest of it is fine. I'm very happy Mavropanos is not there. Rodriguez, Souček, that's the best we could do. I mean, I would recall Freddie Potts at this point. I would basically do like a social media fan nonsense of just saying that the best thing to do is just throw on youth. Which is a very stupid thing to do, but I can say what I want. So yeah, I would recall Potts at this point. Just Rodriguez and Souček. I mean, wow, just the sheer speed and pace. Brentford are not going to know what hits them.
It looks to me like he's set this game up so not to lose. When really we need 6. He's got to get 6 points out of these games. I don't think he can afford to try to just amble his way to a draw or just to get any point here and then try and win the next match, because then obviously we've got Spurs Man U. So I think, yeah, he's not done himself any favours here. Why he's put Antonio in, again, just blows my mind. My feelings on Antonio, great servant. But, I mean, to put him on the wing, you mentioned there about putting him on the wing, fine, if that was 5 years ago. Like, he could not do it now. He couldn't do it. So for me, yeah, I hate coming on and saying I'm nervous, because I've tried to be positive beforehand. Yeah. It's becoming increasingly harder to be positive.
Yes. Anyway, so on this new tool, I mean, it's not like we provided a particularly slick service to begin with, but now we're on this. I'm just going to see the comments. I haven't actually clicked a comment and tried to. When we were talking there, so Souček and Squad isn't Lopez choice. That has come from the powers above. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about Antonio and we were talking about various things. I thought it was going to say like having Antonio in the showers isn't Lope's choice, but that probably says more about where my mind is at this point in time, rather than that actual comment. So, yeah, the comment section on this new gizmo is also a bit different. We have to do more scrolling. So.
Nick, before you go to a comment, can I just ask you about one which I think's the weirdest omission for me is Somerville out. Why is Somerville not there?
Because Lopetegui's tactics is to increase the impactfulness, which I'm not sure. I could have just said impact, really. Increase the impact of Somerville. You see, what basically with Lopetegui now. He's been a bit annoying, but what I saw in the Liverpool game, I liked. I think I think it was split opinion. I think some people will say, "Oh, it's not a good look for our manager to be childish and petulant and silly and whatever, and he shouldn't be doing that now. He should be doing things in advance." I liked what I saw. I really thought it was just genuine passion, genuine annoyance, genuine frustration. Which, yeah, again, you could say then why is he being frustrated or whatever? But I don't know. I just found it likable, and I think that's a really big part of football management, or being the the manager, the figurehead of what the fans see, the punching bag when it's going badly, is just basic likability. Never mind the tactics and the formation and the lineup and all of this kind of thing. I just think being likable, and what I saw against Liverpool of Lopetegui I liked. What did you think?
Yeah, in parts. Obviously, capitulated at the end against Liverpool. I think we were very good. Not very good, actually. That's a stretch. I won't say that because we weren't playing against Liverpool's first team, but they're still a strong squad. But I think we were in the game. Dodgy refereeing, linesmanship was screwed us over, and then we just fell apart at the end. But no, I think we've done okay. Rodriguez, for me, again, I'm not a fan. I think he's one of the slowest players ever. He's a poor man's Mark Noble. And then Souček, we know, he's just lost that up. He was the runner for the team, wasn't he? He could run. He had covered the most yards over a few seasons ago, but he covered the most yards. That seems to have dropped off. So I don't know. Again, I come back to what we were saying the other day. I think that's the best back four we've got. Not a fan of Areola, as you know. Best back four. But to get it from then up to Bowen, Paqueta and Kudos is going to be, that's the worry. That is worry. How's it going to get there? And then when it gets there, Antonio's really not going to finish it because he hasn't finished much in a long time. So, I'm not excited by that lineup.
Yeah, I mean, like, excitement-wise, I wouldn't quite say I'm as excited as a very excited person who has a special reason to be excited. Also, because 2% of people on this channel usually say my voice is quite deep and soothing. I think they say other words for it, but I take it to mean that they're very just erotically charged by my voice. But I think with what you mentioned, like the what if stuff, of course it's easy to do. But if you actually roll back to the Villa game, you could legitimately play like a what if game, even if it sounds really stupid, even if it's like, what if Antonio had actually done his job in the first few minutes against Villa, right? I think that's a fair what if, even if you could. That doesn't mean you're going to question every goal, but it wasn't. It was just a corner, and their player who was primed, ready to run in by the penalty spot. Antonio didn't track him, so he got the ball first. What if Antonio did his job in the first few minutes of that game? Against City, we were 2-1 down. Kudus hits the post. What if that goes in? Against Fulham, you could say it's a bit of a stupid what if. It's not like something hitting the post, but what if the defense actually did their job and didn't just try and play offside and it didn't work? It's not like Fulham worked a goal against us. We just gave them it on a plate.
Yeah.
Against Liverpool, what if Delino did his job and their first goal doesn't go in? We get to half-time 1-0 up, or Kilman finishes that chance when we're 2-1 down. And even against Chelsea, even like the one that was the worst out of it, even you're 2-0 down, what if the referee does his job and gives Somerville the penalty? Then that puts you back 2-1, the momentum switches. So I don't there's no real massive, takeaway. You can't really change time based on that, but it just definitely feels like, if I'm trying to be hopeful or optimistic, which I definitely am, because I think Gonzo said, I think on one video previously and also this morning, it's just, I just think your emotions change when you see someone, what Gonzo said is when you see someone trying and struggling, and even if they're failing, if you really feel they're actually putting in some effort, then you don't just want to kick them while they're down. So that's basically what I think currently about Lopetegui anyway. So with the things like the lineup and, I think that's basically the best we could do at this point. If Somerville does come on at 55 minutes and has some high energy to attack them in the second half, then I don't think starting him on the bench is the worst thing ever. Someone said in the comments there, for some reason I can't click it, so I don't know if you can, but I think Scott Blake said that he starts weaker and brings strength on as the game goes on, which is fine if we can hold out. I'm not sure we can hold out. Yeah. Oh, I need to get rid of this comment. Yes, this new tool. If I now try and select a comment, just to bring the fans in with the technological aspect of what we're doing. So I think basically, because if you select a comment when that one's up, it says request failed or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
which means, if anyone thought I was boring, then this is going to be even more boring, because now I have to just tell you what I'm doing, which is scrolling up the comments and trying to find the comment that is on the screen
to get rid of it.
So Northie, say something dazzlingly entertaining and just witty, and also kind of empathetic and emotional for the next few minutes while I just scroll up 100 comments.
Well, I just wanted to see in the comments if there's any predictions for scores, but also I think Mbuemo is one of those players. He always does well against us. He's a kind of a brutish forward, plenty of energy, plenty of pace, strong, kind of like Antonio was back in the day when he was decent. So I think if he's up against Kilman, because Kilman was weak and a bit slow, I think he was at fault for 2 of the goals in the Liverpool game, to be honest, then that's going to be a really interesting battle. So I think, and I think there was a comment as well, and I can't remember who made it, but I think it came out of the club to say that Todibo wasn't quite up to the physical presence of the Premier League. So I think that he's going to be really up against it, if that is the case, against him, because he is strong and powerful. But I do like the fact that Wan-Bissaka and Emerson are back. So I think that's the best back four we can really hope for, just going on to that. But I still have a question mark. I'm still confused as to what the actual style of play is. I haven't quite got that yet. So I don't know if he's trying to play more through the centre, down the wings. It's just confusing. I can't make it out. So it'd be great if anybody else, could share their thoughts and get some interesting conversation going on that, because I'd love to say I'm in the know, but to be honest, I'm a bit lost by it.
Sadly, I can't find. Basically, I don't know if you can just. I've had a look. I can't find this comment. I think you selected it, so I don't know if that.
All right. Well, now it's your turn to be witty. I'm going to go through the comments then.
I try. I have a nice one here. So DC says, "I don't think you're boring, Nick. More tedious."
I love it. You got to love them.
I'll take that, I guess. So I'll just read these comments out while we're trying to figure out how to. Oh, there we go. Something happened with the comments. What did he do?
Oh, that was me. So I'll drive the comments in.
Indeed, you got another one up.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because I agree with Brian's point. So I wanted to swap his old point with this one. He definitely should be on the left. Bowen up top. Antonio shouldn't be anywhere near the team.
We fixed the comments. I say we. I didn't fix the comment. I've just said we. It's a bit like when someone says like we did this thing, and it's like hundreds of years ago in Britain's history, and they're like, we did that. No, you didn't.
You mentioned earlier as well, just before you went off there, you said about Antonio doing his job, like he wasn't doing his job tracking back, and I agree with Isaac. He cannot track back. The problem is his main job is scoring goals, and he can't even do that. So we've got a big problem.
Real Antonio fan we have in our midst here. This was the comment that made me chuckle. Thanks very much. Oh god, it's happening again. No, I can't.
Let me see if I can. Cause another one here. No, it's fouled again for me. So we're not sure why.
Teething problems.
We can go through the comments.
I'll just read some out. Anyway, Jackie Sue says agreed, tedious. So if anyone thinks I'm tedious, you can just put a T in. We'll go B for boring, D for dull. So just flood the chat with that. Karate says West Ham will win 3-0. Andrew says Brentford 4, West Ham 3. Wow. David Terry says checking Antonio playing does not work. Yeah, it's really hard to disagree with that. Nico DeBacca says Antonio brace incoming. Alice is good. Guys, good luck. You think Areola needs to be replaced? I like Areola. I am a big Areola fan, so to speak. Because I think he's a great shot stopper, which is what I want him to keep. I don't care about anything else. I just think he's incredibly good shot stopper. Scott Blake says, Nick, please say it rubs the lotion on its skin and puts the bottle in the basket. I mean, I would rather not, but I've said it now. I haven't said that in a psychopathic voice. Obviously, that is from Silence of the Lambs. DC, who just insulted me, I'm not reading his comment. No, well, it says, we're attacking their wings. Bowen's no good just up top. We're going to be crossing. Fulkrug would be my choice, but is injured. Pete says, poor in defence, poor in midfield, poor in attack. Thanks again for the usual optimism from Pete there.
Saying that though, Nick, you did a positivity video. You did a positivity video at the weekend during midweek, I should say, and there was no positivity in it. It's very hard to try and be positive. I think you squeezed maybe a little bit out.
Yeah, there are some positive. Yeah, I said it was positive that we know Soufal and Cresswell are now too old and creaking, and so is Fabianski. So they're just too old now. Ian Phelps, no, cannot get these comments up yet. Ian Phelps says, never thought I'd say I miss Charlie, but there you go. Charlie will be back in 10 minutes. Anyway, he's just mowing my lawn. So yeah, Argumata, let us hope for a miracle. Fluffy Python's back, 2-1 Brentford. Brian P, 3-1 Brentford. Mancunian Hammer, 4-1 Brentford. We don't have a 5-1 Brentford yet. But yeah, I'm just a bit miffed. I can't fix these comments at this point in time.
Yeah, apologies. We're not ignoring you. Just a few technical issues. And what are your thoughts? I mean, there's quite a lot of positivity, more than I thought there would be in the comments.
Yeah, I think with the comments, I think Gio and Gonzo, even though they're not on screen, may be able to. Just the comments thing. Don't want to get highly distracted. Anyway, a lot of people are saying I'm tedious and boring. Harry Parker says S for sexy, which I like. So that's made my day. Unfortunately, I can't highlight that. Otherwise,
can you drop your OnlyFans thing instead of your Instagram this week then?
Yeah, I haven't started OnlyFans, but Harry, if you are into this, God knows why you would be, my OnlyFans rates when I open the account will be very, very low, very affordable.
We are 1 minute to kick off, just or 1.5, I should say, roundabout.
Yeah, Pete says, I bet that's funny enough, actually, Pete. Great minds think alike. Pete says, I bet you have a drone, as you always drone on and on and on and on. I did buy myself a drone years ago, and I've used it about 5 times. And I thought about using it today, but it's a bit windy. But there we go.
That's some high-tech peeping Tom going on there. That's why you don't use anymore. You got caught.
Yeah, I mean, we're a minute away from kickoff, which only fills me with some dread because I'm going to need to click other things on another device and hope that it works. So then I'll be 3 devices deep and many links and windows into this experience, and we still can't.
Well, we can. Yeah, they've come back, so they're a bit sporadic. So we'll try and pop up your comments when and if the new system allows. But these things are bound to happen. 2-2. Someone has said there, Sophie. Yeah, Mbuemo he's one of those players for me. It could be dangerous.
Darren Lee is semi-excited, which is nice. All the comments are working. Hallelujah. Bin Liner super glued to my arse. Is that his OnlyFans channel? That's the name. That's the name of Pete's OnlyFans channel. If you look up at Bin Liner super glued to my arse, you get some terrible things that you'll never sleep again. Talking of sleeping, Bronson Lovejoy from the Lovejoy household. I'm no manager, but even I know put your best player in his position. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to just avoid the whole Kudus on the left wing conversation. Right, I'm going to get clicking.
Yeah,
and if I find a good radio stream, then North of you will be the first to know. So let's see if at this point I can visually. My friend who's at the game will send me such high quality text commentary that it'll be as if I understand what's happening on a live basis. So I have a turning wheel on the latest link I've tried to contact this friend.
It's worth putting in the comment as well. What minute will be the first goal by either team? So we can
that's a good one. That's a good one. Get in the chat. First goal scorer, minute, and who scored. That's what I want to see.
That's quite bold to have all of that. I was just going to go first goal, if there's a goal, of course.
I was just thinking, make other people just do work while I figure out how to visually imagine the game. Are we literally 1-0 down, or are people taking the piss?
You could be, mate. You know what we're like.
Yes, we are 1-0 down.
For God's sake.
Well, who scored? It was Mbuemo. So the most obvious, Mbuemo won. Someone said that in the chat. Someone said that on Patreon. this morning when
This
Gio
is
and Gonzo did
Could be a long 90 minutes, this is.
when Gio and Gonzo did the live whatever breakfast show thing. Someone said it'll be Mbuemo 1, and someone said, oh no, it'll be more like Mbuemo 4. Whoever said that, you should have put a bet on that, because Mbuemo 1. I mean, yeah, they've scored a goal before I can even hope to catch a radio link. So good. Thanks everyone for joining the shitfest. That is West Ham United.
Yeah. Okay. Back on now. So, yeah, it's quite a good goal. Good finish by Mbuemo. Sort of volley. Lobbed in. Who was picking him up? Nobody. It's totally free. Amazing. So, yeah, we said last week as well, it'd be nice to actually come on and there is we have a game where it's a bit positive from the start and we can like enjoy it, but it looks like it's not going to be. There is a VAR check going on. There is a VAR check. I don't know what for.
Yeah, could you send me your radio link, because I'm finding no joy.
Yeah, there's a VAR check going on. I think it will be given. To be honest, I can't see any reason why that's not gonna be given. So let me just, yeah, it was a goal. Great. It was a great start. He always does well against us. He's just one of those strikers. I don't know why I jinxed it. Sorry, everyone. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the comments. So yeah, he actually needs to go. We knew it'd start early. I didn't think it'd start that early, but
who was it? Tell me again what happened. Who was at fault? Because you said Paqueta wasn't marking.
No, I don't think it was anyone not marking. It was kind of one of those where the ball just bounced around. We tried to clear it, and Mbuemo was on the edge of the box, and he just volleyed it. He just volleyed it into the top corner. So it's a good finish, but unfortunately, it's same old West Ham. But okay, I guess that coming back to what someone said earlier, the comment I picked up. We are playing Brentford, and if we're trying just to hold it, keep it tight early on, that's not worked. Now we've got problems. So this is where we really need to be stepping up. I don't like sitting back, and with the attacking talent we've got, I don't like sitting back and trying to soak up pressure. We should be taking it to Brentford, even though we're away, and now we've got to. So hopefully that should spark us into life, but we've not really seen that as yet. So
yeah, because sometimes you get a game and you say this needs a goal, and the good thing is with us that always happens.
West Ham on the attack with Bowen, he's trying to take on 3 players though, just falls wide. Yeah, and this is absolutely right, Redman. It's ridiculous how early we're letting in these goals. Like it's odd. Kudos with the shot over the bar. Oh, this is going to be trending. I feel Loppy out. It's Walsh on the bright side. Mr. Walsh, well done.
Okay, finally, my radio's working intermittently. I'm on 4:40, so
yeah, same. So we're a bit behind. Okay. Tony says, can we sack him at half time? I mean, if Steigen's picking the players, why not just send him to do his coaching badges? I mean, at least if he's picking the players, let's get his players out there. It's just ridiculous. Oh, this is poor. Okay, so Fabianski with the ball. Hoofs it long. Hoofs it straight to Brentford. Soucek wins a header. West Ham want it back. Paqueta knocks it back to defence. Positivity there from Feather. Still win 3-1. I like that. Let's hope so. Paqueta with the ball, looks up, sprays it wide. Antonio kind of is. Oh no, there's Wan-Bissaka's. Wan-Bissaka's playing right winger again. Yeah, Lee, it's hard to argue with you on that one. Our defence is crap. Shamrock saying AWB was at fault for that. I only caught the replay. I didn't quite see if that was in the build-up play. So let us know. I mean, it's annoying that you try and get the radio call up quick before you can do it. All right, give us a break, West Ham. Come on. We've got enough troubles with this new tech.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I'm just being mute and contributing absolutely nothing at this point.
You're all right, mate. No worries.
But neither is the team of West Ham. So I think we're all on a very kind of just having a slow afternoon.
Also, I didn't quite get around to doing it, but I've got. I was going to set up some buttons on my Stream Deck to play bingo, seeing as we have Match Bingo as our key sponsors for when the first time Moyes was mentioned, and it's 7 minutes. So. As we said in earlier, though, I mean, you're just swapping shit for shit. There's no point going backwards. I just don't see the point. You know, and if you hate Soucek now, imagine Moyes being back. He'll probably be up front. Or they're on the attack. Oh, that is a Wan-Bissaka with an amazing recovery there. Amazing recovery. The ball was crossed in from them on the right-hand side, and he's bombed it back just to get a toe on it and put it out of play. Great defending, to be fair. But wide open again at the back. No, Fluffy Python. We're not getting him back. We can't. Might as well get Allardyce back.
Yeah, I mean, I can see in the comments.
Some extreme reaction there.
I mean, can that be the manager's fault though? Like, do the players have to be that shit? Like, do we really, like, even if we had Thomas Tuchel, would he say, oh, by the way, everyone, and then, like, mark the opposition, and like that's the thing we're missing? I don't even know if it's the manager's, like, I don't even know if it comes to the manager to just do that in the first minute of the game.
I mean, even when you're talking about Thomas Frank, I know people say, what's he won, blah, blah, blah. But he is more progressive than our last few managers. And he's got a Brentford team. So, what could he do with West Ham's team? I'm not saying he's the right man. I'm just saying, why do we keep going for players that are managers that are free, for one? So we never pay anything. We spend all this money on players, never spend anything on managers. And they're always so old. Okay, West Ham have the ball now.
But yeah, I mean, you just can't blame the manager for this kind of thing.
My God,
I mean, obviously,
if
it goes back to who's to blame, why is this happening? We'd be here all day.
Okay, lost it in. Oh, Kunis heads down. Soucek wins a header, just bouncing around. It's got a bit scrappy. Yeah, West Ham still have the ball. Yeah, it's not the most amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if I could actually figure out what was happening, I'd be thrilled at this point.
Steve says, terrible, but I think Moyes only won something like 3 out of 20. It's been crap for a while. I agree with Leon on this one. No way we want Moyes. Okay, there's another shot from West Ham, but flew over the bar. That was Rodriguez. Apparently, it was Soucek's fault. He pushed their attacker into Todibo. Anyway, the goal's gone. What can you do about it now? 11 and a half minutes on the clock.
Yeah, Kyrgios is getting also a bit weird with it. Anyone could do a better job. A braised turnip could do a better job. Can you braise a turnip, or would it just go too mushy? Artel, the goal is on the players. It's school point defending to concede within a minute. Yeah, I mean, it is on the players. I just think, yeah, we did a big recruitment drive and we got in 8 or possibly 9, but they're not good enough. So we need to refocus and get active from January the 1st.
Are they not good enough though? Is it, or is it we then? You know,
apparently, but I mean, based on what I'm seeing, some players apparently can keep playing until 33, 4, 5. I think we've just got some players that physically and also like they mentally switch off. They're not aware that they're in a football game, and physically they just can't cut it anymore.
I think players like Fulkrug's a weird one. Like Fulkrug for me was probably the weirdest one. Spend that money on someone who's that age was a bit strange, rather than stump up the money for Duran. I know hindsight's a wonderful thing, but it was weird. Okay, we've been robbed. Brentford now on a counter. Playing it out wide. Kilman's come over to cover that. Good header again. Wan-Bissaka's cleared again. He started bright. Bowen's won it back. Brilliant. Hoofed it. Antonio can't control it. And Brentford get the ball back. Oh, yeah. It's I agree with that, Martin. I think a younger, attack-minded manager is needed. Definitely not Moyes again. Yeah, you can't have him back. Brentford are playing like a team that have been organised properly in training. Strange, isn't it? What happens in training? Okay, Brentford got the ball.
Do we have any possession? I still have absolutely no idea.
We've had 55% of possession. We've had 4 attempts on goal, and they've had 1. But our attempts have not been on goal, I should say. We've had 4 shots. I can't remember him troubling the keeper, so it's not really been much. Nothing to get off our seats, I would say that at the moment. Yeah, I agree with that, Mark. I think they are good players. Like, they're not bad players. When you look at that, I mean, you can't be Brazil's number 10 and be crap. Bowen is class. Kudus is class. You know, if you had someone who could just get those 3 playing, I mean, they'd get in a lot of teams. On the flip side, what teams would Antonio get in the Premier League? What other club do you think in the Premier League Antonio would start every week? Because he is starting pretty much every week. I can't think many, if any.
Yeah. There's really nothing bright to say about it.
Ross agrees with that one. What about Dave Bassett? What a character. Ian Holloway. Get the old school. I mean, if we're going old school, let's go old school. AD saying Antonio off already. Some of you on the left, Kudus up top. And that's a big call from you, isn't it, Nick? You always wanted to see Kudus as a striker. Brentford pumped the ball in. Antonio wins it. Kudus just wasn't aware his pocket was picked there. Antonio's chasing this down. Oh, it's good little pass. Good play there from Antonio, actually. Taken away from trouble. We've got it in midfield. Brentford are really good, really organised, though. Drop back. So they've got everyone behind the ball now. It's just too slow. Hillman with the ball. It's Kudus. Cross comes in. No one in the box. Yeah, I think high crosses when you've only got Bowen in the box is going to be a struggle as well. Duran should have been signed. Yeah, agree. Okay, Brentford are in the danger zone near the box. It's gone out for a throw. I agree. Yeah, these early goals are killing us, Jack. How do we stop it? Who's to blame? Is it the defence? Is it the manager? Bit of both. I can't work it out.
By the way, I don't know if you've spoken to me. I'm having a tech nightmare. I feel
So
like I'm getting on top of it slowly.
Yeah, okay. Ask Nick. He'll let you know where you can watch the game. Even Potter from Phoenix Knight would be better, says Pete.
Okay, I can finally, for the first after 15 minutes, I appear to be knowing what is going on in a visual capacity.
Yeah, Leon makes a good point. Brentford are not missing Tony. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they were without him for quite a while anyway, so they probably adapted. But
I just saw Paqueta hack someone down. I am currently on just past 16 minutes. It's taken me 16 minutes. I'm with you.
Yeah, so we're about a minute behind.
Great.
That's all right, mate. You're all good. We're all good. We'll get there. Artel say Todibo is beginning to find his feet. It's good. I think we all wanted it. All wanted Mavropanos out. Does anyone in the comments missing Mavropanos or believes he should be starting over Todibo? Early days to ask that question, I know. Okay, Brentford. Oh, an awful free kick. Opportunity to get in the box. Didn't even beat the first man. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What managers are even available that would go to West Ham? Yeah.
I don't even think at this point, I don't think it's a manager thing anymore. Like, I think it was, but I think if you're going to do this, you could even say that you could put everything on the manager. Like, that's one option. You could just say that the mentality and how they start the game in the first few seconds, but I only see what manager would come in. I think we've done well in the transfer market, perhaps just not as well as we'd thought. Like, I think it could be as simple as that, in that we went a certain direction and it wasn't the right one. We didn't focus on the right attributes. We focused on, attributes that might look nice, and also, like, I don't want to be the whole English players over foreign players thing, but maybe we should have looked more in the Championship or something for younger, more homegrown players.
Well, the best player that we did that from last week, or the bright spark I think we've had this season so far, has been Somerville, and he won't even start him. So
yeah,
I think that one's on the manager, because he does bring a lot of energy. There's a lot, he panics. He's one of those players that would panic a defender because he's running at him. Yeah, he's running at you. He's a very tough one. Napoleon Reed is saying missing James Ward-Prowse in midfield. Now, actually, compared to Rodriguez, I think we are. I think he has more energy. I know you quite like Rodriguez, though, don't you, Nick?
I don't even know anymore. I mean, I don't even know what. I don't know what's happening. I mean, I think you just start this game after the last few, and just not letting in a goal in the first minute probably should have been on everyone's, very high on the list to happen. But it happened. So I don't even know anymore. I don't even know how you fix these weird things that keep happening to, like, you could try thinking about, the tactics, formation, the lineup, and Somerville starting, or whatever else you want to think about. But I don't even know what fixes that at this point.
Yeah, it's really tough. I have no idea. So it's Jarrod Bowen running with the ball. He's running, but they're defending really well, to be fair. Brentford, they are defending really well. Played out wide, just giving him a lot to do there. West Ham throw on high up the pitch. Iron saying Kudus is well off it this season. Yeah, I think that we've got too many well off it. It is a strange one. Yeah, he's too slow, Danny. It's not like him. But is it the sort of player you want passing, or is he the type of player you pass to and he drives at the attack? Because he's got the skill. We've seen that he can take on players, he can beat players. So get him driving and get Bowen around him. And if anything bounces off, if he gets tackled, Bowen can finish those off.
Yeah. You seem to be like the only person who can manage to actually visualize what's happening at this point in time. I had it for about 30 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. Try another radio station, I'd say.
We'll do a live commentary of past.
Yeah. Well, Wan-Bissaka's got the ball now. He's out on the right. cutting inside. A lot of movement outside. Paqueta's on the overlap. That was just hoofed in, volleyed. Oh, Kudus with a volley there. Good block from Van der Berg. Just hit him in the chest, but a really good move. Actually, really good move. The most positive move of the match so far. Alex is saying it would be much worse under Moyes. I mean, I hate Moyes, but I don't know if it could be much worse. But it is a West Ham corner, so let's see. So Emerson takes this to Paqueta, edge of the box. Oh. So there's a shot went in there from Bowen. I think Antonio tried to get held on it, but it didn't really happen. So we are applying more pressure. Right, Liam, we're growing it into the game. It'd just be nice, wouldn't it, not to start from a goal down?
Okay, what minute are you on?
I am on. Give me a sec. 22.
Okay.
22:30.
All right.
West Ham have got the ball back. With Kilman. Hoofs it wide to nobody. Straight back to Brentford. Napoleon says Kudus is sulking because he's on the left. Yeah, he probably can't be happy. It's not his position, is it? And John says we should bring back James Ward-Prowse. Yeah, that ship sailed. Bit of a strange one. I think needed the money for Fulcrook, which at the moment is a bit of a duff signing so far. So we'll see. Early days. You know, he's injured, not his fault. These things happen.
Yeah, I mean, if he likes an early sub, then just go for it. Get Somerville on for Antonio. Put Bowen or Kudus up top. I don't really care which one.
Ross says that he disagrees about James Ward-Prowse. He said, we need to have balance, steel and flair. Not sure we can accommodate him.
Yeah, I just saw the strange pass by Todibo up to the 18-yard box from nowhere. So I think honouring possession would probably be a good idea at this point.
Jacqueline says the season is a hangover from Moyes. Yeah, I totally agree with that. He didn't leave it in a great position. Managers don't when they leave. Deep-rooted issues. And that's not just the team. I don't think that's the team. I think there's a lot around the club, which is strange. Yeah, there's something not right behind the scenes.
Yeah, I finally updated a radio link. I'm on 24:40. Kudus runs forward. Decent shot. What are you on now?
24:30. So you're a bit ahead. So you can take over that.
Yes.
And Artel says that passing is too slow in transition from defence to midfield to attack. Totally agree. Who's to blame then for that, Artel? It'd be great to get your thoughts on where and why that is happening.
Okay, I'll do the say what I see. You do the comments. Now I can see it until something buggers up. Until I'm told like that hot girls are waiting for dating in a pop-up window, which I don't mind. I mean, if hot girls are waiting to be dated, it's very rude to keep them waiting. So I've been clicking on everything, hoping I'll just get through to one of them eventually.
Mm-hmm.
As we attack up the left. And my radio freezes.
TWB McMystery says, hate to say it as I love him, but Bowen isn't captain material. Yeah. I mean, everyone wanted him as captain. Nobody blinked an eye when he was made captain. I don't think anyone was complaining, me included. But he's not really dragging anyone by the scruff of the neck. I mean, I'm kind of old school. I like a big, brutish defender or a really loud goalkeeper to be the captain. Unfortunately, we don't have either of those, and that's probably why he was the best choice out of a bad bunch.
Yeah, I don't think it's like that bad. I just think maybe, and I think he'll change. I think maybe as a captain, he might learn. Maybe he's just trying to be too positive, like you say, which is just definitely like a style of captaincy. And what the players we have in this team need is not just niceties and encouragement. They need more stick than carrot, basically. And at this point, we could take a stick and shove it up many of them, so they know how to play the game of football, which is clearly like not quite aware of that at this point in time.
Yeah. Alex said we had a shocking win record, 30-20. Funny how people forget this. Yeah, we've got to move on from Moyes. Everybody's got to stop mentioning him. Please, Sullivan, don't get him back. Oh, this is a controversial comment. Richard said, West Ham and Eve again. Sorry to change of manager, Potter or Southgate. Southgate
would never come anyway. I mean, I would never want him. But he'd never come in. He's looking for something more. Well,
could he get more? Southgate couldn't get any more. Where could he go? He's not a top manager, is he?
No, I mean the obvious one for him is that just another country, like another international job, but at a like low expectation.
Easy job.
Yeah, somewhere he can just and somewhere nice like that. Steve McLaren took the Jamaica job, apparently. So, no comment on that.
Okay, it says Kilman should be captain, or even Alvarez. Alvarez probably not. Doesn't really lead by example. Kilman, he was captain at Wolves, wasn't he? So I thought that's why he wanted him in, to give him a bit more steel and voice at the back. Okay, there's not really much happening that we can report on, really. West Ham have got the ball, or what, the time I am. 28-20.
Nice.
It's hoofed out. No. Nothing happening there. Too many players, Pete says, want to be elsewhere. Kudus, Paqueta, Emerson. I'd say Paqueta. It's probably well documented that. But it's City. If City come in for anyone in this team, probably even Bowen included, it'd be hard to say no, because you know you're just going to win the Prem every year.
Yeah. I mean, just because it's a point of conversation, I don't like the new manager thing. I'm not even convinced on it. But, I mean, Tuchel for me, it would be the best one, because he's someone who clearly knows what he's doing. But we need to. I thought after the window we had, after the transfer window we had, I really thought that would be okay for 2 seasons. You get in 8 players. I thought that would be fine. But we need to just go back, and we need to just get rid of the players who, like Cresswell given another season, Soufal's still in there as a backup. We need to just get rid, and we need to learn that pace is higher on the list than we thought it was, or energy. Like, not necessarily call it pace, but just call it energy. As I managed to actually glimpse a bit of decent midfield play that happened around the 29-30 mark as Wan-Bissaka takes it forward.
There's sort of players like John McGinn of a Villa. He's the sort of player that really gets hold of a midfield and drives it. That sort of player is what we've been missing for a long time.
Yeah.
Kevin Nolan type.
Yep.
Corner comes in. Straight for everybody. Blocked it again. Wan-Bissaka shot. Blocked again. So we're having shots, but they're just speculative. Nothing really open. Hitting hopes. Brentford on a counter. It's too slow, thankfully. Too slow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do some comments because it's very dodgy. Yeah, Mark Watson says, we've still got to pay for a lot of these players.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true. DC, JWP to come back and be captain. I mean, at the moment, anyone could walk into this team. Good thing we didn't sell him. And what were you saying? Yeah, Andy Smith says we miss a Scott Parker. If we do want to play the game of who do we want from the past? Absolutely. Scott Parker
quality.
would be ideal, because on the pitch. Off the pitch, like when he does his TV interviews and stuff, he's actually not that confident. But on the pitch, Scott Parker was something else to really just, no one relaxed when he was on the pitch. MC Kelsey, we should try 4-4-2 and play Ings with someone.
There we go. I'll go with that.
Jekyll Thorne, Steve Lomas. Why not?
He's not singing out again.
Lee Michael Carrick not mentioned.
Oh, come on. Oh, Antonio.
I had enough of Paqueta. Yeah.
Who's going to buy him?
I'm kind of losing interest in Paqueta a bit because it is these games where, forget the fantastic technique he has, he needs to, footballing wise,
could have scored there.
Standing counted, but also
great play.
Just lay into his teammates. We need someone to shout at their teammates and not be nice. That shot was from Antonio. It was a crap shot, but it was from about 16, 17 yards out. So at least we fashioned a chance.
Yeah, we're getting chances. I wouldn't say it was an easy chance. I wouldn't say it was an easy chance. It was kind of under him. So weren't too far off.
Yeah, Ian says he doesn't like listening to Tony Gale.
He's one of the most West Ham friendly ones as well.
Yeah, some other West Ham fans have said that. Like, at least Tony Gale is better than a lot of the others, or most of the others. But some people still don't like him, which is interesting. So I'd like to know why.
I don't mind him.
Like him.
Christ. Ariola may be nervous then.
Yeah, Ross says Paqueta's a show pony. Marco Boogers is always gonna get mentioned.
Shamrock said Andy Carroll. He's playing again, isn't he? He's
scored the French something tier. Why not?
That was a team that got relegated, wasn't it, to the third tier? Was it Ozer? I think. Oh, I could have scored there.
Yeah,
Mulumbu nearly got a second.
Yeah, like I did, like Paqueta, for example, there, which was a while ago now, but just even playing a pass that it was only a 10-yard pass, but it was still speculative in that it wasn't necessarily on, but he still played it. So I am surprised. I didn't think we'd find ourselves in a squad refresh.
They might VAR this.
After signing 8 players. I like this one because it brings up a point. The amount of you lot turning on your own players, our fan base is a disgrace, should be ashamed of yourselves. I get your side of it, Jeffrey. We're not really turning on them. We're just saying that when you play football, don't let a goal in like the first minute. We already did the first 5 minutes against Villa, the first few minutes against Chelsea, and the first 1 minute. Like, how quickly do we need to give the opposition a goal? So that is my point, Jeffrey. We're not turning on them. We're not saying I hate them on a deep personal level. We're just analysing it calmly and saying they don't really appear to be, doing the basics. There doesn't appear to be a lot of bite. They're not going from it from when kickoff, the whistle blows. They almost seem to like drop their shoulders a bit and say, right, let's just play football now. Where's, and Jeffrey presumably, he says, look at the comments. Yeah, but again, like how do you define turning on your own players? At what point do we keep saying, no, they're doing really well, this is fantastic. They've let in early goals against a lot of teams this season. Keep going, lads. I don't see the alternative of what you're saying, Jeffrey, rather than like if you're just being honest and saying I'm seeing what I'm seeing and it's not good enough. I'm seeing sloppy passes. I'm seeing the other team's players up for it physically more than us.
Damon asked a question. There's a free kick to we'll come back to that in a sec. There's a free kick. Come into the box and West Ham clear it. Damon said if you could bring someone into the squad right now that's realistic, who would that be? I don't know if he means someone from our squad into the team or someone from another club.
I mean, again, like I just go with stupid social media, and say, just recall Freddie Potts, just get Potts and Orford into the team because they might put some effort in. Like take away the age. If either of them have a footballing brain that they could say, oh, that Mbuemo seems to be someone who might score a goal, I'll not let him have a shot like freely in the first minute. Can they do that? Like, is that in their repertoire of footballing ability to mark their players? If one of them was marking Onana against Villa, would they have actually marked them? So it becomes less crazy when you put into context that our players can't seem to do basics.
Yeah. Stupid foul there by Rodriguez. Gives Mbuemo the chance to have a shot just outside the box. Lining it up. Good defensive wall by West Ham. Cleared. Yeah, Pete, this is the problem we have. Because I do think he wants them to play a bit of a high line. And whilst they're probably one of the quickest centre-back pairings we've had in a long time, I don't like playing too high. Squeezes us up too much. Yeah.
I mean, just because this was a conversation that was happening, Shane just says bore off. which is not my words. I was just saying what Shane said. I mean, it's just an interesting conversation. I'm not saying it's funny. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong, Jeffrey. I'm just saying, in my opinion, like, it's opinions, it's not facts, right? So I'm not saying your opinion is wrong, my opinion is right. I'm just saying it's not really turning on. We're just saying, can they not lose a game of football ever?
Well, it's kind of interesting. He's saying don't turn on the players, and then the fans turn on the fans. So kind of proves his point, I think. So I don't think you're wrong there, Jeffrey. But Saxony says Matip. Yeah, what's happening with Matip? I think I'm not saying he'd be a starter. I think that'd be a decent signing. We do need another centre back. So West Ham, anyway, are on the ball. Paqueta. Oh, Paqueta's crossing is a bit shocking with his left foot. Every cross has gone to them at the moment.
Yeah.
Lynn has rightly said we need more fight. This is a bit gutless. Like, I don't think they're battering us. Yeah, agreed, Mr. Davis.
Harry says, I'm having a pint. We're waiting for Brentford to get their second and then game over. Ross boils it down. All the talk we're trying to fill the air, Ross boils it down to we are proper shit.
Sometimes the summary is just as good, mate. So don't worry about that, Scott.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, it's absolutely accurate. That says it. Yeah, Paqueta he's not really been doing it. I mean, why not? Like, why not bring? I mean, George Earthy's not gone. Flynn Downs has gone. Earthy's only on loan. Why not? Why not? At this point, you can't really do worse. Bring back, get Earthy, Potts, and Orford on the pitch, and say, you know what? These first teamers earning more money than you are playing sloppy passes and not marking the opposition and not doing the basics. So your job for today as a young player on the pitch is, number one, mark the opposition. Number two, makes basic, sensible, easy passes to your teammates. And if you can just do that for 90 minutes, we might have a chance.
Yeah. Although I don't think we're getting battered here at all. I think it's a very even game. It's just, the stupid mistakes cost us. We just seem to get punished a lot more. But the final balls from West Ham today have been really poor. Certainly Paqueta's crossing in, and anything that's gone down the middle, their centre-backs have just dealt with it. So we've just got to find a way to unlock them.
Yes. Anyway, these links and streams and this kind of thing are doing my head. I'm going to try and fix something. So I'll be back in a minute.
No probs. Darren says, why don't I like Antonio? Simply because he couldn't hit a cow's ass with a banjo. Yeah, it's very hard not to disagree with that. Brentford have a shot wildly over the bar. And Lee, yeah, a few youngsters should be given an opportunity. The problem is we get rid of them. So, who would you bring in? Which youth player would you bring in, and who would you take out? Certainly, when you look at the subs bench as well. So there's a few comments here about Somerville not being played. Yeah, must be demoralising because he has done really well. I can't see why he's not in. I'm sure he'll come on at half time. Bowen's driving in. Oh, he was just nudged there. So either, I don't know if he lost control. Could have gone down, but he just ran it out of play.
Okay, try again.
DC, are we looking at all like scoring? We've been in their box quite a bit. I haven't seen any stats on touches in the box. I don't know if we can bring that up, but we've been better than other games. So I'm more positive, I'd say. West Ham got the ball back here.
Give us some live commentary for a while.
Yeah. So we're just playing around at the back at the moment. It's with Rodriguez. Back to Ariola, who looks like he's blinded. Like the sun is right in his eyes. The way the sun is really low. So
yeah, I mean, like Alex says, these games are far too important to chuck youngsters in, but we're losing them anyway. So
yeah, if you're not going to give them a chance, they just go elsewhere. Right, it's out wide now.
Someone didn't like
have a shot. Have a shot.
Running early spot on. Brentford a side well managed. We're the opposite.
I mean, Emerson had a shot there, but he took about 4 touches to get out of his feet to have a shot, and by that time he slipped over. It was crap. He's got to hit it much earlier. Absolutely no right foot. Yeah, I agree with that. Brentford are well managed. They've always been a really well organised team.
Okay, finally I can see something. I'm on 43-45 as Brentford calmly pass it around without a care in the world.
Yeah, I think this is going to be get it. I'd love to hear his half-time team talk.
Yeah,
that's inspiring.
We will see subs. There's no way that we're not going to see subs.
Oh, he loves a sub.
Because that's the thing. Like, what he does at the start is usually doesn't work. So the next thing he can do as a manager is make subs. Apart from that, that's basically the only tricks in a manager's locker.
Yeah, Mancunian Hammer makes a point actually, because we did watch some of the friendlies when they were in the States. I can't see an improvement from when we watched those friendlies to where we are now. I don't really see much of a more cohesive team unit. And Darren sums it up. No cutting edge, up front, slow in midfield. Brentford have the ball at the back. I think they're just playing it around now, playing for half time. So not too much action happening at this point. Yeah, Jamie, we do look like a bunch of strangers thrown together. It's got to start gelling. Corner for West Ham. On 45 minutes, this looks like could be the last action. Lee said there will be subs on 55 minutes. Yeah, and I don't mind that. I don't mind if it's not working, make a change. But even when he makes a change, it doesn't really work. But I think we do need to change it. Corner comes in. Keeper does well. Oh, and Wan-Bissaka heads it to Debo, tries a volley, but it goes over the bar. When it comes to stats, I don't think we'll be behind on the stats. I think we've been, dare I say it, I think we've been the better team. I just don't think we've had that cutting edge. I don't think they've been the better team in this.
I mean, it's just like the other games.
Half time.
You could say, in the other games, you could say, apart from the first goal, we haven't been that bad. For example, against Chelsea, there were moments. I mean, we were on top for most of it because they had, a cushion. Even against City, we were okay in bits of it because they had a cushion. And then just the same thing keeps happening where it just reduces. It just makes our games weird. Like all of our games are weird because we literally we come as close to possible as starting with a goal down. 60 seconds and then you're just a goal down and the other team can just relax nicely into their football at home.
Yeah, I said at the beginning, like put the minute you think there'll be a goal. Like minute 0 was not what I was thinking, to be honest. So it has been limp, as Andrew says here. We've looked limp, but I don't think Brentford have looked great either. But the question is, how soon, can we hold on in the first 5 minutes? Because we've recently been coming out and just conceding straight away as well. So we've got to come out all guns blazing in this.
Yeah. Subs. What subs in the chat? What subs would you make at this point in time? Because why not? Why not just make lots and lots of subs? Bewan says West Ham are passive everywhere we go, which is nice because it's true. And a play on words. William Colton, boring to watch. Yep. Kudus on the left. It's something we see and it's frustrating, and he's probably frustrated. Brian says midfield AWOL.
Agree, Brian.
It's me, Sam, putting me out of my misery. Front players look off. Subs will be like the starting 11. Random, no direction, no clue. Owen says, if you let up a goal in the early minutes, you set yourself up to play a bad game. Team that scores wins. Well, he says 70-75%. I'd like you to do some research on that, Owen, if you wouldn't mind, the next 10 minutes and come back. Brian says Somerville on half-time. Somerville.
So. Yeah, I'd go with that, Sophie.
Somerville ain't the answer to this shit. I mean, he isn't the answer, but he can't do any worse. Jailer should be rented out to paint strippers. Souček for Soler. A lot of people are saying Somerville.
What are your thoughts on Souček for Soler, Nick? I know you weren't a fan of him in the last game.
I mean, he'll need to run. Like, if he's been kind of told that running is like a really important thing, not just fancy little passes and this and that. And his passes weren't even particularly that fancy.
What about then in that case, Guilherme instead?
Why not? Why not Guilherme for Paqueta? And say, whatever you saw in 45 minutes of football, you need to be better than that. That's the bar. That is the low bar that you need to. And it is a very, very low bar. If you see what has he done from an actual doing perspective, it's not much really. If you can just be fit and make an effort, then you can probably.
Yeah, the stats there are telling, as you can see, 11 shots from West Ham, only 1 on target. So that says all you need to know about. Not just blaming Antonio on this one, but just up front, we haven't got it. We need. I mean, Ings is the better poacher, and Bowen's a better poacher as well. So there definitely needs to be a shift around. I'd bring Somerville on, take off Antonio, or swap Ings for Antonio, especially against Brentford.
I'll leave you to hit the halftime comments as I try and rejig my life so I can actually get a good idea. Although I do have one here. Drew says, get Earthy back. Exactly. Like, why not? We're so shit at this point. Just why not forget what we should do? And yeah, Ionic said, like, you can't put the youth on in this game. We're losing anyway. So it doesn't really matter at this point.
Yeah, Lewis says it doesn't feel like they've had 11 shots. No, it doesn't. I get that. I don't think, as you say, because I think a lot of them have been skied or blocked. I think there's been a couple of very good blocks from Brentford. So I don't think we've done bad. Looking at those stats, the passing accuracy, exactly the same. They have done more tackles. So when you're looking at tackles and blocks, I just think they've been better defensively. And we've just had a shocker again in defence. So yeah, it's an absolute pain. Yeah, Brian agrees. 1 shot on target is poor. Yeah, it's shocking. 1 in 11 is absolutely shocking. The stats are saying their work rate's a lot better. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I know we haven't got that graphic here. I don't know if we can get it, but it'd be interesting to see distance covered. Because it does, I thought we'd had more possession, to be honest. Even I thought we'd had more than them. So even that surprises me.
Yeah, Nathan Schmathan. Nice name. Anything that with a Schmay is funny. Yeah, Antonio, useless. Anthony, no end product.
No starting product.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
No service or product. Darren Paqueta giving the ball away has been terrible again.
Yeah.
He's got that killer final ball, but he's starting to look a bit like a luxury.
I mean, those sort of players, to be fair, are going to give away the ball more than anyone else. But when they do go through, when you have the vision to do that, and if you only need a couple coming off, so that is always a bad side. But some of his crossing has just been hit and hope.
Yeah, Rob, why not Irving? Why not indeed? There's not really anything else. There's not really a change you could make, which anyone would say no. I mean, the only ones you keep on Kudus Bowen all the time because they can still nick a goal. You keep the defence on because we don't have anyone better. But the midfield is effectively up for grabs.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're so weak there. And Ian says about Paqueta, for 100 grand a week, I can hit crosses at the keeper all day long, which is a fair comment. Chris says that he thinks he may be gone if we lose today. Now, I was thinking that as well. Like, I think he needs 6 points. We need to beat Brentford. We need to beat Ipswich. If we don't, and go into Man U and Spurs and take a hiding in them, like, he can't stay. I can't see how he could lose the next 4 games because we'd be rock bottom.
Yeah, the next few will do it. Schizobasis is with team we have so little composure.
Yeah, I agree.
Brad, why is the only player crossing Antonio, who is objectively the worst in the team, at it? Bring on LG, Guilherme, give him a chance. Has Paqueta trademarked losing the ball and falling to the ground straight away? Yeah, the Pellegrini shouts, lack of identity, lack of will, lack of fight. People like Felipe Anderson, who we thought, there was always a maybe he'll be good, and he scores a couple of decent goals, but then just not right for the Premier League as it is, because, like you mentioned, John McGinn, obviously he's one of the best at that role at this point in time, but other players do have those, no frills names, but they focus on basically just doing a job. HVNY Manuel Moyes.
Yeah, someone said it before, didn't they? It's Moyes with a tan, which is pretty much bang on.
Yeah, problem isn't the players. I mean, it kind of is if you don't mark their player in the first minute.
Yeah, I think it's as much the players. It's as much the players. They've got to take responsibility as well. I know it's the manager that's the ultimate blame, but this is poor from a lot of them. Yeah.
I mean, he needs to be, like you say, old school. They just need to be laid into. They need to be, I mean, it does remind me of the bad days. And I know it's not about just comparing things to the past and bringing up others, but it does really remind me of those bad days, which is now 20 years ago, of when we lost to Blackburn 7-1. We lost to Chelsea 5-1. And at that point, the talk is, like the players are just beyond useless if they're not going to. It's not even about the shapes and the positions that they take up. But even those who seem to put in a shift very recently, like Souček, it's not. You need to just go. It has to be old school at this point. You have to just drop any pretension of systems and formations and identity beyond the identity of just physical, physical fighting.
Liam did say there that Potter's a good shout for getting him in. Yeah, I think he went to Chelsea, which was a poison chalice. Very good before, good at bringing youth through. I would like to have seen Potter. He was my choice before we got Lopetegui in, so I would go with that, Liam.
Yeah, at least he's lacking an on-field leader. Jordan, going back to basics. Alex just says he'll probably walk. He has a history of that.
Yeah, true. That'd be cheaper.
Paqueta's checked out. Pretty much. I've a lot of people were saying the whole drop Paqueta thing from the first or second game, and because of what he could do, I was just, I suppose, remaining hopeful. But I've just kind of dropped that and said that if at this point, which is what's happening, you just need to show something. Like, Roy Keane can often be a bit rent-a-quote and predictable in what he says and this kind of thing, but I mean, he won't care what's happening to us. But from a footballing perspective, his thoughts on things and what you need to do on a football pitch is just dismaying. Is pretty much the word. And we've had a lot of shit with West Ham. We don't win things. It's fine. Losing games, it happens, but it's getting a bit beyond a joke at this point. If people seem relaxed.
Yeah, Clayton had a good point there. You're right. There's a lot of those players that wouldn't start under another manager. And I still, if anyone thinks Antonio would even start for the likes of Ipswich, I'll be surprised. I just can't see him starting for any other team. Don't know why he's starting for us. It's weird. Potter wasn't very good before Chelsea. He was good, but everyone followed him, thinks he can do better. I don't know. I thought he'd done well. I thought he'd done really well. I mean, you can't do bad to get the Chelsea job.
Yeah, I mean, all we do is lose at this point, unless we get a bit lucky against Palace. We don't seem to know how to win a game of football at this point.
Yeah, we were lucky against Palace as well.
Channel looking very flash. I hope it. I mean, yeah, I don't know if anyone likes it. I mean, like with the I'm actually being able to see something. I've had an absolute technological nightmare today, but I see Mavropanos warming up. I mean, I hear on my visual radio, apparently Mavropanos is the one to save us. So from all the subs that we thought we were going to get, we are now getting a centre-back. Mavropanos is in discussion with Soufal. I don't know what they're talking about. Christmas plans. I couldn't imagine. Monkey says Zinedine to West Ham. Here we go. Yeah.
I think whoever is investigating Paqueta on the betting thing should have a look at Lopo, because
Carlos Soler is about to do something in a game of football. I don't know who that's for. Lopetegui is giving instructions to Antonio. What instructions? Forget everything we've talked about. Just on a general level, I always find that a bit funny. Like the instructions.
Yeah.
How many instructions do you really need? If you can dress it up all you want. And some people's about this whole topic of just opinions. Some people say, "Oh, football fans have too many opinions and they don't know how the game is played." It's not that complicated. I'm of the opinion that we don't just dress up the game of football as this highly amazing thing that none of us poor souls will ever understand. If you have some brain cells and you like football, there's enough that you can understand about it. And when the manager's just giving them instructions, what are the instructions to Antonio at that point in time? So when you don't have the ball, you start playing for the ball, run and move and change the positioning of their defenders. When you have the ball, you have some choices: pass to a teammate or attempt something that is actually on at that point in time. So I don't know who Mavropanos and Soler are on for yet, partly because I just don't care, because the players at this point they're just objective for the next 45 minutes. It's just don't annoy me on a deep personal level. And
it's not going to happen.
I think Jeffrey it was who said, we're turning on players. I hope you're still with us, Jeffrey. I think even if we disagree, just stick with us and we can have a conversation about it. But Why not turn? It's not like turning your own players. They're not your family members. They have a responsibility to do something for us. And at present, they're not doing it because it's not only about this game. It's about the recent games that we've had. And that's why you say things like show something and show some spirit and show some fight, because it's important at these moments in time that you do, because otherwise, if you're not going to do that, then just find another club.
Have we time travel, or has the clock on our graphic gone a bit wrong? Is it all over?
Yeah, it's just put us out of our misery. If you can hear this absolute shit show of nonsense. Oh no,
there you go. It's back.
Okay, I was going to ask him to take the timer away. Here.
How can you take kudos off?
I've got something through from Gio. He's in his cage. He's in his tiny little dog cage that he locks himself in during the games. That way he can get his fetish out the way. There was a details on Patreon and Patreon to view the post. I'm trying to read and anyway, like fan cams. Basically, Gio said we had a thing on Patreon. If you don't know about Patreon, then join it because it's very funny. It costs like £1 a week or something, and you get a lot of different decent content from other people, not just us droning on in our drony, tedious voices, but young people who talk about other players they might want in the team, a bit more analysis. And you also get a lot from Gio and Gonzo from a West Ham and also just a random non-footballing perspective in which they do a couple of podcasts through the week. This is a bit more just like light entertainment in which they talk about stuff that's annoying them, funny memories and just weird random shit. So check Patreon out. And also there's a fan cam thing. So after this game, I think anyone can do it if you feel like it. The details are on Patreon. I can't really say what the details are at this point of sending them because I'm running on like 3 screens and devices and windows. But what Gio wants is fan cams after the game. If you just want to make a video, not like 18 plus. If you want to make a video of yourself in landscape mode on your phone, doesn't have to be any tech, just after the game, film yourself sat down or against a wall in a normal location, phone on landscape horizontal, and just make a selfie video of 30 to 60 seconds saying your thoughts on the game. If it's obviously like not incredibly rude and publishable, then we might be able to share it.
Yeah, it can be a bit longer. I think he said around 3 minutes if you want to have a proper rant. So don't be afraid. Get involved.
Yeah, the details are on Patreon. Any details of like where to send this to will be below this in the description. So, and it doesn't have to be instantly after like final whistle. You can give yourself 15-20 minutes to think about what you want to say about what either annoyed you most or changes you would make, or just fan cam. That's what Gio wants to see. More people submitting little short videos, and that way we can just get more people on the channel.
Yeah, have your say, people. Have your say.
I still didn't see who came off because again, I don't.
Kudos come off Mavropanos.
Oh, well, that must be an injury then.
Yeah. I mean, it is.
Anyway, West Ham have a corner. Comes in.
Good little knock by Antonio. Does he keep it on?
I'm currently on 49. I've managed to actually see something.
Yeah, you're a little bit ahead of me then. Only a bit. Oh,
hooray.
Corner. West Ham corner.
Yeah, so I just saw that. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Because I've rejigged a few things and it's been working for me for like 4 minutes.
Yeah, Richard said Kudasov, he must be injured. Doesn't make any sense. He didn't look injured. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see him hobbling, take a knock. So
he definitely is.
He must have been injured. Please. Well, please let him be injured that he didn't just make that change off from a tactical reason, because it just blows my mind.
Okay, so West Ham have the ball. We're taking it up to the halfway line. I'm going to try and figure out where the new people on the pitch are playing. Mavropanos tries to go cross-field from right all the way to left, and he makes it. I think that's Soler, gets it up to Wan-Bissaka, who's now on the left. Cross comes in. It was a floaty one. Shot very wide, terrible shot from Mavropanos, who decided to shoot on the volley from 20 yards, which I don't think he scored one of them in his life.
I mean, Mavropanos as a right back, not very good at a centre back, so I'm not sure what's happening there either.
Yeah, I also haven't figured out who's on the left wing now. Brentford players down injured, so we're not going to know who's on the left wing for a while.
Okay, Criminal taking off our main threat in attack. Yeah,
Seems that Brentford
has to be a
player.
reason.
I don't know if that Brentford player was going to be off because he's not. He's just sat there. They're not wiggling his limbs and making some fixes. They're basically in conversation. So I think whoever that Brentford player is down, might be off soon. And he's still sat on the floor. So I don't know who he is, but yeah, clutching at straws. 1-0 down to Brentford. At least they're going to have to make a forced substitution. So that's the good news, if you like. As Jeff says in the chat, Loppe is a Spanish waiter in disguise. Could sing to him. I'm actually going to the Ipswich game next week, so that is going to be quite interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, funny enough, I was offered I've got an Arsenal friend. He's he had tickets to the Leicester games. Did you want to come? I was like, no, same time as West Ham. Oh man, come on. The Ipswich one should be good. Well, imagine if we lose that one, what is that going to be like at the stadium? What is the atmosphere going to be like? Yeah,
I mean, even if it isn't his fault per se, which obviously you could say it very much is. Game's back on, and it's with the Brentford goalkeeper as he's rapidly closed down by someone that I can't tell who it is.
I'm on 52. What are you on?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, cool. Okay, let's see. DC, what is our system now?
I think Soler is on the left wing. Maybe.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, he's pushing up unless either he's on the left wing or there's some form of 4-4-2 happening. I don't think anyone knows. I just think people are on the pitch. Bowen skips forward up the right wing, dribbles into the box, crosses it in. Brentford player gets out for throw-in.
Jonathan makes a great point here. Why Soler instead of Somerville on the left? Because he's been playing really well on the left, and you bring on a central midfielder in that position. I mean, what does that do for a squad morale? I find it odd. I just find it's all odd.
Yeah, Mavropanos on the right tries to dink it in, but it's nothing hopeful. Ball in on the floor. Comes to Todibo, puts in the cross. Brentford clear. And I think Mbuemo has it on their right wing. Paqueta's close to him. Paqueta wins the ball back. Maintains possession. Tries to get it forward to Bowen. There's a lot of bobbling around the area, flicking and jinking, and Antonio has a shot, but it's too close. Goal! Souček. Helicopter. Souček helicopters it. Okay, so Paqueta did earn us that goal. Paqueta did actually do some decent work for that goal. We got tiny bit lucky with the bubble in the area. Paqueta basically stole possession on the left wing. It was 50-50 between him, bit of a scrap. One possession, he gets it in, he crosses it in. Antonio had a shot which was just way too close to the person, and then it just bobbled out. So they're going to do it again. Paqueta passes Bowen into Souček. 1-2. Souček back to Antonio. Shot nowhere. Bobbles through to Souček. Spins goal.
There's a good little 1-2s in there. I mean, Antonio's shot was a shocker, but it worked out well.
Yeah, I mean, at least it was Paqueta, Bowen, Souček, Antonio, bobble through, and then a Souček 6-yard line, spins left-footed, and goalkeeper had no chance. So
is Antonio going to get an assist for that?
Technically, yes.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. The worst assist of all time.
I mean, it did slightly brush past the Brentford player's back, so I don't know if that will take it away. But at least we got something to hold on to as Bowen dashes up the right wing, but he's got 2 on him, so he wins a throw-in. I mean, I've been more pleased at West Ham goals, to be honest, because with our defence, I don't want to take anyone's joy out of this moment in time, but
He just pops up with them.
I can't really say I have high hopes for the next. I would like to have high hopes. Don't get me wrong. Like at this point, I would like to feel, yes, we're back into it. The season starts now. I'm loving this. Come on, the lads. Come on, you Irons. West Ham are massive, etc. Honestly, I'm just feeling nervous. I mean, we're attacking. We've got the ball. Antonio spreads it right to Bowen, who's got it in the box. I mean, we look. No, it's a terrible shot from Antonio. I'm not like Antonio's likable, and he's been our player for a very long time. But I don't have patience with low quality footballers. It's not something I can tolerate at this level. And at that point, he swings a shot. He's a yard or so outside the area, and it's just a bit of a speculative. I'll have a kind of shot that wasn't really on at that point. What I would say is, our players look up for it. Our players look like they believe now we have something to build on. So that's what they look like. I'm not really feeling it at this point in time, to be honest with you. So we win a throw-in, thanks in part to Mavropanos. It's down our end anyway, near our box. So
yeah. Nix, that it is an assist by Antonio, but it wasn't an assist by Antonio. It was a complete cock-up by Antonio that worked out well, but it will go down as an assist.
So at this point in time, I mean, the game's pacey. Both teams, there's more energy in the game from both teams. We're playing slightly better. We've got it on the left now. Soler tries to dink it through to Paquetá, runs onto it. We're in their box. Paquetá keeps possession for a while. Back to Wan-Bissaka on the left wing. He buggers it up. Brentford get the ball, but it's our throw-in, I think.
Very kind offer by Jekyll.
Yeah, I mean, I get that point that you just had there. I mean, not that one, because that's worrying on many levels. But the one you showed up, yeah, I don't think the fans, us, are suddenly like, hooray! Now it's we're pleased that we've got a goal back in the game. But honestly, I don't even know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to feel. I think what West Ham have done to me since the season started in August is just leave me dazed and confused on a relentless basis. So, cross came in from Brentford, then it was cleared.
I think we've been the better team. I know like our shots have been poor, but we have been the better team in this. We've looked more dangerous
in the last 15 minutes, and
Rodriguez's attempt at a tackle there was so bad.
To know how to take the last 15 minutes. In the last 15 minutes, we've been the better team, attacking well. We've got the goal. All of those things are positives, but the way we concede this season has been so unbelievably easy for the other team that we're going to need at least one more goal to get anything from this game, because the shock for me will be if we keep a clean sheet for the next 35 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And that's not me like, the negative and the digging out. I'm just honestly saying what I think it will be really a shock to me. It will be, positive. I would take a point. Just being honest, I would take a point now against Brentford away, because if we get a point now and we beat Ipswich, that's a positive upward swing. And I realise the next game after that, we can still only potentially get 3 points. We can't get more than that. It doesn't, carry on forever. But at least that would be just kind of okay. If we could get a point, and 3 points would be.
They're there for the taking. They're there for the taking. We're a better team. Got a lucky goal at the beginning, and we're on the way.
Ambition. Where do you get this ambition from?
No, we're on the way up now. And I agree with David there, saying, why is Rodri still playing? For me, he missed that tackle by probably about as far back as we are off the main time here. So he was about half a second behind, half a minute behind. He's so slow. He's so slow to everything.
Scott says, never in doubt. I know he's being facetious. Lynn, if only we had a striker with brains.
Yeah, it's true.
Mark says, Brentford have only had one shot on target. That's what we need against us.
Oh, kiss of death.
Lee says, if we win, I'd still say lop out. That's fair enough, Lee. It's your opinion. I'm not going to disagree with it. I say stick with him. I want to get behind him. I feel like if he just carries on showing the emotion, I'm at the point where I don't mind that. I want some show of someone showing something. Like, I don't have very high expectations of footballing quality at this point. I just want us to do old school, back to basics, be more physical. Don't get yellow cards like Alvarez, because that was just stupid. But
to be fair to him, he has had a ridiculously tough start, even with a cup game where they're cheating. I mean, it's a ridiculous start, but still.
Yeah, like my whole thing has been like the questioning of it is fair enough, and the voicing of the opinions is fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't know where we go from there, because I think it's a conversation for another time, not live Watchalong. But the top down aspect, I think as a club, the manager isn't the issue. I don't even want to say what the issue is right now, because I don't want to say his name, but I think everyone knows what the issue is.
Mr. Lim says Ings will be brought on the 80 minutes to score us the winner. Well, he's hoping. I'll take that.
Yeah, Artel says runs like a knackered donkey.
Yeah, agreed.
You just quickly agree with that, like that's nailed it. Knackered donkey.
Yeah, bang on.
If you were going to pick an animal, it would be the donkey.
Yeah.
Richard says Paqueta has to release the ball quicker. Yeah, I mean, that is the thing. Not stereotyping, but players from that part of the world are actually taught to not release. It is a good thing. And
what's a ref given there? I missed that.
Yeah,
it's a throw on.
I think that's fair enough to put up, because that's not naming names. Like, I don't want anyone to name names in the chat, because I don't want anyone to get in trouble. I don't want the channel to get in trouble. But the poison dwarf is the issue. You could just say we're talking about Lord of the Rings, and the poison dwarf could be, well, he wasn't a dwarf, he was a hobbit, but that would be Gollum. In that perspective, the subs are confusing. I think, the No Somerville thing is a bit confusing.
You on the right hand side, we've got two central players.
Yeah, Pamela, like he says, can we have more commentary on the game, please? I'm trying, but for some reason today has just been a difficult game, and I've been trying many, 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 many different things, not just sites and links, but there's many other things that I won't bore you with, because I'm boring enough as it is. But as soon as we can get something stable, I will try. Lee agrees. Jeff, maybe Rodriguez has borrowed Zuma's knees. Imagine having a season ticket problem and not spending a few extra million on a youngster like Duran. I'll probably double money in a few years. Yes, very true. The only thing with the Duran thing is that would he cause us problems after he has a good 6 months to us, and would he then say he wants to go off to Barcelona or Bayern or whoever? And
for 100 million,
would he go on to
money? Yeah, nothing wrong with that. So Brentford have the ball. Just a bit more commentary on it. Playing it out back. West Ham are pushing forward. They're playing higher.
What minute are you on?
64 and 12 seconds.
Okay, then you do some commentary. I'll try one of my endless refreshes.
But we're doing well. We're sort of pushing from the front. Even Antonio's sort of getting involved a bit. I say a bit. Brentford have it down the left.
See, one of our players is kind of getting involved every now and then, so it's looking up.
Yeah, makes a nice change. Okay, Mickey's done. Needs to come off, says Matt. Oh, he just looks done every game. I really don't want to hate on him, but he's It's hard not to. It's hard to say the positives of what Antonio brings anymore. Like not even the running and energy. Like he used to run at defenders and scare them or bully them. He doesn't do that anymore. He doesn't get close enough to him for that to happen. I just don't know what he brings. So hopefully, as someone said earlier, get Ings on, bring that energy. A natural finisher could win us the game.
Yeah, I'm managing to get a few seconds. I'm at 65-30. Brentford are attacking, but their lack of individual quality is showing themselves up. Areola punts it forward to the halfway line. Bit hopeful there that Antonio's going to get that one. So Brentford have it back. They're playing it around their halfway line, back in their defence. Our players are still pushing. 65 minutes. Seems to be the obvious thing that subbing Antonio for anyone at this point, Ings or Somerville. Anyway, Soler turns. The referee gives us a free kick around the halfway line and yellow card to the Brentford player. Referee looks a bit like Mike Dean, which is bringing back horrible memories.
To be fair, I haven't even noticed the referee in this game, not once. So that's a sign of good refereeing. But he's not stopped the game. He's not done anything bad. I think he's really let it flow.
Yeah, as I need to refresh again.
Paqueta needs to release it. See some other comments that are here at the moment. Richard says not having Mavropanos at centre back's a positive. Yeah. Lee says Antonio has lost what you need for the Prem. I agree. As Brentford have the ball.
Give us some in-game Coventry commentary. Can't even talk.
Some Coventry. Definitely watching the wrong game if we're doing that. Yeah, Brentford have the ball. Not much happening. It's the pace has definitely dropped a little bit here. Somerville is coming on. So Somerville is being readied. It'd be interesting to see where he's going to go then. Because if he puts Soler out there, are they going to push Bowen up and put him on the right wing?
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one putting Soler there. Because if you're putting Somerville on now, unless there's some grand plan that none of us see, the bits I've seen of Todibo, I like.
Yeah, they haven't looked. See, that's what I'm saying. Brentford have not been that dynamic that they've caused us any problems at the back, apart from the very first minute.
Yeah, I mean Brentford have the ball now on the right wing. It's a really weird game. It's a bizarre game. Every game of football at West Ham, it's not just because I'm a West Ham fan and I see it differently, but our games are weird because of the manner in which we give the opposition goals. So they don't earn them and then they suddenly have them, and that gives them a bit of confidence. If you take away any of the weirdness right now, then it's just a standard game of football in which score is currently 1-1. Both teams look a bit crap in a sense because like the teams look even levels.
Yeah, very even.
No one really stands out, which is highly concerning because the players we have just from the countries they play for as internationals should in theory be better than Brentford. But the fact is that it's very even and it's both like shit footballing quality.
Soucek gives a foul there on the edge of, well, I said at the edge of the box, sort of to the right of the box.
Yeah, it's on their left wing, about 30 yards from the touchline, right near the line at the side of the pitch, which I can't remember.
Oh, Arsenal 2-2. Some other scores popping up on screen. Arsenal 2-2 at the moment. Everton have beaten Palace 2-1. Fulham beaten Nottingham Forest. Newcastle, Man City 1-1. Interesting.
Brentford line up the free kick. I think Mbuemo's going to... No, he's not going to take it. He was just on camera. It's going to be an outswinger from a left-footed player. They're still buggering around endlessly, not taking it, is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I think stepping up to kick it now. Cross comes in. Oh, that could have been a goal. That was dangerous.
Yeah, very decent cross there. Player almost got to it. I think that was Todibo who got to it first.
Yeah, I think so. Blocked it.
Well, that's a positive sign. Let's play a game. The game is called Only Positives for the next 20 minutes.
I think it's positive. I think this is positive play. I don't think it's
Madness.
too bad.
You've gone crazy. I can't get on board with your belief that we're not going to ship a goal.
No, I'm not the only one. Shamrock's on with me as well.
I want to believe you. I want to believe you, Shamrock. I want to believe we can win this. I would be so happy with a point. I can't tell you how pleased I would be at not losing this game. Because the second half has just been as if...
That should have been a foul to us.
As if 22 people have been collected and just told to have a game of football. There's it's like from neither team. You don't like tactics, shape, ideas, reasons for doing what they're doing. Nothing. It's just 22 men, and they know they have to win, but they don't quite know how. So they just kind of pass it around here and there, and then it gets scrappy. So Brentford have the ball on the left wing now.
Yeah,
you're
they are
10 seconds ahead of me.
71-15. I will say that Brentford are the ones on top at the moment. Have been for the last 5 minutes. Good covering there.
They've had a few crosses in. I mean, they've got the ball by the edge. Ball pops in, cleared by Mavropanos.
He looks like a better right back than he does centre back.
I mean, there's no way we should, like, a goal can come out of anything in any game. Just at any second it can happen. But, I mean, letting in the first goal was bad enough. Letting in another one would be just criminal, because Brentford are not, like, they're not really trying anything clever. They're just doing a bit of football on the wings and then crossing it in. And that's their game plan. Not that I'm criticising them, because we have fuck all of a game plan as it is. Anyway, Brentford have got a corner.
that is a clearance. That was proper.
Hooray!
From Paqueta.
Yeah. Paqueta, he won the first header at the near post, and then he just smacked it in. That was in just
proper Peter Kay in the John Smith's advert. That one.
Yeah, pretty much.
Leon says that he would prefer 3 points, so I totally agree with that. I think we can get it.
Brentford long ball it. Wan-Bissaka does enough, and it goes through to Areola. So it's just, yeah, both teams have given up on any notion of footballing quality. As we have in defence, pass up to Soler, who's on the left wing with it. He gets it out left to, I have no idea because it's so far away. And then Rodriguez passing it back to Todibo. Back to Rodriguez, I think. I could be calling it
Rodriguez playing centre back.
So we have in defence now. Brentford are not pressing us because they're probably tiring a bit at this point. They're just sitting back and watching us pass it around in defence as the ball goes up to, I just can't tell. Is that Paqueta? Yeah, Paqueta's on the left wing, and he's staying on the left wing as we pass around in defence again. Todibo looks up, plays a decent through ball to Antonio, who absolutely fucks it royally in extreme and disgusting ways. If I did that at Vets Old People 11-a-side football, I would be shouted at for shitness. I mean, Todibo passed it through. It wasn't 100% accurate, but come on.
I know, it sticks a little leg out.
Ings is coming on now. But I don't see what Lopetegui hoped Antonio would do in the last 10 minutes. Brentford have the ball on the right wing.
Dean had a comment here that says, a point isn't enough, really. This has to be a must-win. I totally agree. If we don't win at Ipswich game, nothing has been achieved. Yeah, we should be. I mean, look, we've spent that money. We should be winning this game.
Not disagreeing with you, Dean, but the second hypothetical of that is, I think, the most important thing. If you get in a draw and a win, then you sigh with relief and just pray to whatever you believe in that the shit is over. So Antonio's just... I don't like criticising Antonio, but he's been absolutely fucking shit on several occasions. It's like, what else to say? What else to honestly say apart from he has been shit with the football in this half? How else to sum up? Right, Ings is on the pitch. So, not our saviour. So Somerville's coming on. Paqueta's going off.
Yeah.
This game is winnable. Like, there's no reason why this game isn't winnable at this point in time, because if Somerville can show a strong 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's injected a bit of quality.
Dream that we can beat Brentford.
Nigel said, "What's happened to Bowen? He's been shocking lately." I mean, I haven't really seen him in the second half at all. Maybe has he even touched the ball? I haven't really seen it.
He was in the goal. Like he was in the goal, right? Because he did those 1-2s between himself and Souček. I mean, this game itself, no player of either team. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't know anyone's playing, because all that happens is that both teams just lose possession on a regular basis. So there's no pattern, there's no flow, there's no structure, which isn't criticism, but that's what's happening. So we're passing around now. Ings gets over to Souček on the right, who passes it back to him. Ings is on the right wing. Tries to cross, but it's a bit shite, and he goes to the goalkeeper.
He was closed down well, to be fair, so it was a tough one. Darren Lee says that Paul Parker on Antonio, he's been terrible. So I'm assuming that's on commentary. And it's good to know that Paul Parker has eyes. Because,
I mean, that's an absolute fair summary. It's not even, there's nothing wrong with saying that. You could analyze it in 1,000 words, or you could just say that was shit.
KG thinks it's a season-long relegation scrap. It's got to improve.
Let's see, 15 minutes to go. My hopes somehow rest on Somerville and even on Ings. As we pass around, so Mavropanos passes it back to Rodriguez, who has all the time in the world. Brentford are not pressing at all. He plays a shit pass, but it does go through to Wan-Bissaka, who then buggers it up, and we win a corner. Sheer luck. So Rodriguez plays a criminally bad crossfield pass. It went through to Wan-Bissaka, hit the Brentford player, goes out for a corner.
Ionic says, why is Ings crossing the ball?
Yeah, I mean, at least he's been trying. In the bare minutes he gets, you'd be, again, not pissed
corner
off.
Comes in. Went straight through. Could have gone anywhere.
Yeah. Comes back over to the left. One of our players heads it.
Brentford clear, free kick.
Yeah.
He says there's no chance of European football next season on the strength of evidence so far this season. I agree with that. I don't think there is. I don't think there is ever going to be, to be honest. I can't see it. I couldn't see us winning a cup. And no way with that many new players that we were going to finish high enough. So I'm still on for my prediction of 10th. I think that's where we'll finish.
Yeah, I mean, this half reminds me of many other second halves, like Fulham. Basically, the Fulham and the Palace second half. Even though in Fulham we've done the same thing, give away an unbelievably easy goal to the opposition. This second half, we've been okay. Like, the effort levels have been better. The play's been better. When we have it, we do okay things with it. But then a bit of kind of shitness just happens and just ruins the whole thing.
I think it's just been a lack of quality from both teams in this second half.
Yeah.
We've got the ball. West Ham have the ball.
Yeah, I mean, whenever we get it midfield, if you're a Brentford fan, you'd be screaming at why they're giving us so much time, because they are giving us time. When we are on the ball, they're not pressing us anymore. Even when we get close to their final third, we've actually got time on the ball.
Mavropanos was playing as a striker then. Very high up the pitch.
Brentford have the ball. Mavropanos heads out for a throw-in to them. So Brentford have it now in defence. Their left back has it, passes it back to their central defender. We push up a little bit. We're forcing Brentford back, and they give it back to their keeper. So, in terms of winnability, Brentford are not making it difficult for us, put it that way. They're giving us time on the ball. They're looking a bit shit when they have the ball. They just kind of try and hump it forwards or try a pass forward that isn't really on.
As Brian said, both teams look like they're content with the draw, which I think is fair.
Brentford look a bit tired. Bowen comes up the right wing into the box, tries to get a cross in, but that was a bit crap by his usual standards. And Brentford just punt it clear.
Dino says, at the age of 49, I've seen everything being a hammer. Why can't this just be normal? Why can't it be a normal club? Yeah, where's the fun in that, Dean? Where's the fun in this just being a normal club? I'm the same, not far off you age-wise, mate, and I agree. We've seen it all, ups and downs. Nice to see a few more ups.
Do we have a corner out of that? We attacked and it seemed to bobble off the pitch. I think we've got corner. I mean, the attack that we just did then was decent. Somerville won a corner. I don't know if Bowen seems to just try to force it. Some of his crosses, he's usually pretty good at getting the ball in. But I think he's just forcing it a bit. Anyway, West Ham corner. If it wasn't what's happened recently, being pummeled by Liverpool and Chelsea, which just leaves emotional scars, I'd actually be quite positive because we're the better team. We're attacking. We're making chances. Anyway, that corner came to nothing, and now we have passed it all the way back to Areola, who punts it forward. God, this game is so wide open. Brentford are absolutely leaving themselves wide open.
Stuart says, are we just playing like a team low on confidence? Yes. Yes, we are.
Yeah, this half has been okay. The only
poor watch.
Yeah, both teams have been a bit shocking, but Brentford are getting worse as the game goes on, somehow, and they're giving us a lot of time and space, but we're not really doing much with it. Like, we're okay.
It's going to be a smash and grab by someone. I can see it coming.
Hopefully, either Souček or Danny Ings. I don't even know Souček's on the pitch. I've basically just.
Dean said he'd love to see Ings score the winner. I would as well. I would. I'd like to see him given a chance rather than Antonio. Or is he just a super sub?
Yeah. It is just fair to say that Antonio's done not good enough. However you want to call it. I mean, I hope Fulkrug's back. I mean, I'd still start Somerville, Kudus and Bowen, and I'd still put Kudus up top. But if not, then Fulkrug has to be better than Antonio, although he'd giving his game time. So Wan-Bissaka basically loses it around the halfway line. Brentford attack. They're near the 18-yard box, and their player tries to play pass through, but it's crap and it bobbles out. We clear, but it's still just changing possession every few seconds.
Yeah. Brentford
get it on the right wing. We're going to put a cross in. Wan-Bissaka slow out to them. Cross comes in. Smacks Todibo off Mbuemo. They've still got it around the box. Todibo hoofs it clear.
So scrappy.
Yeah. And we win a free kick, I think. No, they win a free kick because Somerville went in on their player. Their player falls to the ground.
Whilst there's a free kick happening, how are you doing on your match bingo?
I haven't looked because I've had such technological issues, mental issues, emotional issues. If anyone did the match bingo, view cards.
Let's see how we're getting on. Trying to bring mine up.
I've only got 4 across. Is the best I've done so far. But I think no one's won a full house £100 yet.
There's cash there for somebody.
So Brentford make a sub. I mean, I think the game for the next 5 minutes is going to go the same way, in that it's just going to be scrappy, crap quality football in which both teams would probably take a draw.
I've got 4 to go. 4 to go on my match bingo.
Yeah, we're resting our hopes on Danny Ings. Jesus Christ.
Nothing wrong with that. It's good.
Easy is how many mins are we? Top left corner of the screen. There should be a
Yeah, 80.
Minute counter. Top none. West Ham fans have been pulled down into depths of despair by performances in the previous season, poor owners and poor manager. Yeah, Brentford have the ball. Soler's an accident waiting to happen.
You're not a fan of that.
1-1 draw. Beat Ipswich. Go into the international break full of joy.
Look, I don't think it's a disastrous result. I just thought we could have done better. I think really.
Yeah, I mean, we still could. I mean, like, Brentford are not pressing us when we've got the ball at all. Like, we float it across there to Wan-Bissaka all the time in the world. Soler, totally unmarked. What does he do with it? Pass back. Kilman. Wan-Bissaka on the left wing. No Brentford player near him. Shit pass to nowhere. Brentford win possession.
Yeah, it's really poor. Nana's making his lunch, I think, or getting dinner ready.
Now it's all scrappy. Wan-Bissaka on the left wing. 2 players on him. Gets it through. And he's shoved off the ball, so it goes out for a goal kick.
Everyone's praying for Ings. He's the saviour, the hopeful saviour here.
The West Ham saviour, Danny Ings. We never thought this would be the situation where we are in the season.
Oh, sorry, mate. Fluffy says, I think there should be a full-time therapy department installed at the London Stadium. But you've got Gio for that after this, so don't go anywhere after. So Gio can be your therapy.
Yep, it is. It is a bit draining. It's draining being a West Ham fan at this point in time. Even when we've done better in the second half, we've scored, your emotions are so fragile. As the referee gives Soler, I think, a yellow card. So this second half, I'll say that we've been better if we don't lose this game.
Kick the ball away there, Brentford player for no reason. Weird.
Yeah, I mean, someone for us hoofed out. I don't know if that was Soler who just got the ball and hoofed it out of play. Now it's a Brentford throw-in. See, I mean, Lopetegui, he's still shouting instructions. Shit or not shit, I mean, at least he's standing up and shouting.
What is the point of those technical areas anyway? Because nobody ever stays in them.
I mean, what's the point of the level of hoofing that both teams are doing it? So West Ham player hoofs the ball forward to absolutely no one. Brentford player, big header to no one. West Ham player, header to no one. Now we've got the ball. Danny Ings gives it to Soler, hoofs it over to the left wing. Somerville has the ball. What's he going to do with it? Tries to pass it through, doesn't quite come off. Nothing really that much wrong with that, but it just didn't work. And now it's hoofed forward to the Brentford player who's on the right wing with it. He has absolutely no other Brentford player near him, so he goes all the way back, gets near the halfway line. Somerville gets it out for their throw-in. Couple of minutes left. I mean, at this point, I can't see a chance for either team. Brentford have it near the halfway line. Slow pass over to their centre-back. Slow pass over to their right-back. Both sets of players are a bit tired.
Yeah, Nick, this comment's for you. Definitely not for me.
I told you I haven't set up my OnlyFans. Not yet, but it's inevitable. So Brentford
going to nick it, DC.
No one looks interested. Still around the halfway line. Brentford win a throw-in. Live times coming up to 90. Let me check the scores in the other games.
I don't know what the how much injury time we played. Hasn't been much, has there?
Nope.
Few subs.
Arsenal Leicester still 2-2. Fulham 1 up against Forest. Everton 2-1 against Palace. Chelsea 4-2 against Brighton.
5 minutes of stoppage.
2-2 against Leicester at home. I don't know if they're sending off or something. I mean, it tells you the quality of this game. I'm not commenting on this game right this second because it's still by the halfway line. And Brentford are still slowly passing it around. James Justin scored 2, whoever he is, against Arsenal, and they didn't have a red card, so they're playing with 11 men. So
2-0
Brentford
down as well, weren't they?
You'll never guess where
Arsenal
Brentford have the
gutted.
ball. They have it around their halfway line, and
It's
they
the City
slowly
draw.
pass it out to their right wing, who slowly passes it back to their halfway line, who slowly passes it. If anyone did need an afternoon nap at this point in time, listen to the sound of my voice, and Brentford play it to the left wing. He has no other Brentford player to pass to, so he's probably going to go back. What does he do? Goes back. Yeah, there's 5 minutes of added time. Live time is just past 91. Brentford have it right by the left corner. Pass it around 25 yards from goal, cross in. Kilman, I think that was
Well cut out by Kilman.
out for it.
The problem is this has been all Brentford. Brentford are the ones pushing for the winner here.
Yeah, I mean, we've been without the ball for the last 5 to 10 minutes, mainly because Brentford have just been passing around their halfway line and waiting for the cross to come in. I'm surprised there's anyone left in the stadium at this point.
It's very nervy, very nervous times.
Cross comes in, cleared by Paqueta, I think that was.
That'd be tough.
On the Brentford right
Subs
wing.
bench.
They look to get a cross in. Cross comes in, but it's too crap and goes out. Brentford try and claim that their player fell over due to a shirt pull. And they're saying shirt pull, but I'm not sure the referee's interested. I don't even know if it's being checked.
Dewa says we should have put that English guy in France in charge. The one that played in the Championship Manager. Better than what we got.
I mean, all I'd say is that we've been better in the second half than we were in the first half. Will we beat Ipswich? We better fucking beat them because, again, I'm going to that game. So I'm aiming to work as some form of good luck charm of an actual home win against
Irving off, Bowen off, Irving on, I should say.
Yeah, so lifetime's at 92.50. Still 1-1. Come on. Away draw.
KG says 150 million spent on this dross. I know. It's depressing, isn't it?
I mean, if we can just get a point, then I'm going to go with this. I'm going to stick with the line, something to build on. Something to build on. That's basically our commentary. Richard is clearly talking about our watch-along.
Lobby not got a clue. Yeah,
I mean, just due to the second half, I'm just going to be, patient, I suppose, is the only word. The first half was dismaying. The second half is just a crappy game of football. In which
it's lacked any sort of quality. I don't think any team strung 5 or 6 passes together. Even our goal was good build-up play, but even that was a fluff shot from Antonio. It's just everything's been a bit lucky and weird and scrappy, and not a good watch for the neutral. Not a good watch for West Ham fans, actually. But if he was a neutral watching this, he'd be
counting
asleep.
down. We should be sub 60 seconds to an away point. So get points on the board. Get points on the board. That's all that needs to happen.
Hasib said that don't bank on a win against Ipswich. They're a good team. Will have a go at us. They will. They'll attack. That is one thing. They'll try and play football.
Excellent. That will play into our hands nicely. It's just what we want to happen. I think we have a player down injured. That's the live timer edges. Oh no, it's a Brentford player. He's pretending he's hurt. Oh, that probably did hurt. I think he accidentally kicked the ground or something. Which basically sums up this game. Utterly uninspiring. Yeah. I mean, at this point, the live timer is at 95, which is basically far ahead. If we can just not lose this game, I will take it. I will take it. Just, great, we didn't lose.
Why did that Brentford player go down?
I think he kicked the ground. I think he was moved as he was swinging.
Right.
And then I think he just slammed his foot into the ground.
Trying for a penalty.
Yeah. So, I have no idea
Never a pen.
when the ref is going to blow full time on this game of football. Please, can we just have 1 point in the season? An away point would be just a fantastic way to enjoy this Saturday afternoon.
Well, to be fair,
so still 2-2.
We've had 17 shots and only 2 on target.
On the screen, I think we've got like 96. On the final, on like what I get is the true timer, I get 90 plus 7. And which means obviously it's still not full time, which is concerning in the extreme.
10 fouls to 1.
At this point, I don't even care about anything. I don't even care, how to change it. What should we do next game? Manage your rights and wrongs. At this point, I just want a point. Please, can I have a point? Can I just see FT full time? And can I get the point? That is what I'm focused on. It still says 90 plus 7. So for some reason, this referee is deciding to absolutely be a dick.
Dog agrees.
What I'm seeing is that Brentford are on the ball, which is just filling me with dread. Whenever I see the other team on the ball, full time. Okay, full time. We got a point. Hooray! Amazing, fantastic. That's what Lopetegui need. I'm going to be positive. I don't care. It's time for some positivity from myself. I'm not saying it's time for positive from everyone else, because that's your opinion. You can do what you want. So I would say it was a must not lose, and we didn't lose. So that is a success, and I will take the away point. I'm very happy, as you can tell by my expression. So stick around to see what Gio thinks. With this new software, I'm not 100% sure if Gio will pop up on this same screen, or he'll go off and then you'll need to rejoin another link. But just stick on this page you have open. Gio will be back giving us his insights on what he saw, and players he liked, players that he didn't like, and so on. I think what happened in the last second there, just before full time, is that we asked for a penalty. Unsurprisingly, we didn't get it. Lopetegui is fuming. Even Jared Bowen is shouting at someone. Maybe the fourth official. Someone's being shouted at in a deep way. I think it's the fourth official.
Doesn't matter now. It's full time. Why does it matter?
Well, because at least if I can feel unjust at the decision making, that would be good. So, with the new tech, Gio did tell us exactly what to do this morning, but I've completely forgotten at this point. So what I'm going to do is say thank you to everyone for being with us through this shit show. We got a point. We're on the way. Good things are going to happen. We're going to beat Ipswich next week. I'm very happy, and see you next time.